subscribe, like the video, and, if possible, join Patreon. But if you don't have much money, you can support the channel by watching the novels on euroaudiobooks.com. Remember that you can participate in the polls so that your favorite novel gets published for free.
Diya played the previous video of Sue by setting off fireworks for her. She recorded this before, and now she watches it again every day, and she is almost addicted to the video. Butterfly Ninja, I really envy you, Diya, but this time we can also meet Sue Bai's book club. From now on, you will not be the only one to see Sue by CC. Xiao Longnu, yeah, that's right. Diya, but no matter what, I am still the first member of the group who has seen Brother Sue Bai in person. Hee, you will never be able to compare with me in this regard. Sue Bai, okay, why are you still comparing yourself? Sue Bai, then let's set a time and place. Garp, sir, group leader, it's up to you to decide. Alu, yes, Lord Group Leader, it's up to you to decide. Anyway, I can do it anytime. Butterfly Ninja, me too. Now that there is no threat from evil spirits, the Demon Slayer Corps has become an organization that protects peace and is developing steadily. Butterfly Ninja, I don't have anything to do during this time, so it's okay. Xiao Longnu, I'm going to Shenyang City soon. Anyway, it's not too late. Brother Sue Bai, please tell me a time and place. Seeing that the group members all wanted to decide for themselves, Bai didn't refuse. Sue Bai, in that case, let's make it tomorrow. Sue Bai, as for the location, I gained an ability just before that can create the universe. Sue Bai, then I will take you to visit my universe. The universe here is not the seventh universe, but the universe created by Sue Bai himself. Although it hasn't taken shape yet, it's totally fine to have a gathering of group members. Garp, the universe created by the leader of the group? The leader of the group is indeed a real god. He can even create a universe. Diya, creating the universe, Brother Sue Bai is so unfathomable that he can even do such a thing. Butterfly Ninja, then does this mean we can go to Brother Sue Bai's house as guests? Sue Bai, if you want to say that, there is no problem. Alu, I'm so looking forward to it. I don't know what kind of universe the group leader creates. It must be much more spectacular than the food world. Aru, in that case, I will definitely come with a lot of ingredients tomorrow. Since it is a party, how can there be no delicious food? Xiao Dongjia, if there are ingredients, naturally there must be a chef to make them into delicious food. Young master, it's a pity that the group leader's cooking skills are much better than mine, so I won't practice cooking in front of the group leader. Subo, no, little master, it's you who do it. Subai, even if I use god-level cooking skills, the version I use will be the same as the version you master. Subai, so there is no difference between the food you make and the food I make. Garp, that's right, the group leader can't use the full version of god-level cooking skills to make dishes, otherwise we won't be able to withstand the power of the dishes. Guo Jing, in that case, we still have to trouble the young master. Little boss, no trouble. It's my honor to cook for you. As a chef, making delicious dishes for customers is a matter of course. What's more, the people he is cooking for this time are the members of the chat group. Among them is the group leader. It's really an honor for him to cook for them. The little boss decided that he must have a perfect performance and not let down the group leader and other group members. Garp, since Aru brought food, I won't bring it. Originally, I wanted to hunt a few Neptunes for food. Garp, but the ingredients in Alu world are much more delicious than those from Neptune. Garp, then what should I bring? Subai, no, you don't need to bring anything. Alu can just bring the ingredients. Others only need to bring themselves. Diya, then I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Butterfly Ninja, me too. Lu Paiqiang. After this gathering is over, we will start testing the lunar engine. The time is just right. Subai, well, everyone, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm looking forward to seeing you. It's not just others who are looking forward to meeting Sue Bai, the group leader. Sue Bai is also looking forward to meeting other people. After all, these people have only been seen in anime and movies before. Now that I can meet the real person, I am naturally looking forward to it. Xiao Longnu, Brother Sue Bai, see you tomorrow. Garp, everyone, see you tomorrow. Butterfly Ninja, see you tomorrow. All group members are looking forward to tomorrow. A captive world of gourmet food. Alu found his friend and asked him to prepare some top-quality ingredients. Money was not an issue. This is the group's first offline gathering. As the person in charge of ingredients, naturally, he can't take some ordinary ingredients. If it weren't for the fact that he couldn't get ingredients from the gourmet world, he would even want to bring ingredients from the gourmet world to the party. But even if there are no ingredients from the gourmet world, we still need top-quality ingredients from the human world. For ordinary people, they can't get such top-quality ingredients, and they don't have the money. But for him, the 4 heavenly kings, channels and money are no problem at all. Even among these top ingredients, there are several ingredients he discovered. Mr. Lu, why do you look so happy? On the side, Xiao Song, who was Alu's partner, saw Alu so happy and asked curiously, could it be that Mr. Aru discovered some ingredients again? Xiao Song, I'm going to have a party with other people in the group tomorrow. I can also meet the group leader. Alu didn't hide anything from Xiao Song. After all, he had already told Xiao Song about the chat group. Even 663, the other 3 kings, know about this matter. And he also taught them the God-level breathing method. So that's it. No wonder Mr. Alu prepared so many top-quality ingredients. Xiao Song glanced at the ingredients next to Alu. These were all ingredients prepared by Alu, and every ingredient was top-notch. It's a pity that he is not a member of the chat group and cannot go to the party. Otherwise, I really want to go along and see what people in other worlds are like. Demons destroy the world. The butterfly ninja hummed happily, which made the other members of the Demon Slayer Corps very confused. I don't know why the butterfly ninja is so happy. Even if she eliminated all the evil ghosts before, she would not be so happy. After asking, she found out that she was going to attend a chat group gathering and finally got to meet the group leader she had longed for. In the words of Butterfly Ninja, compared to meeting the leader of the group, what does killing evil spirits mean? Being able to see Su Bai is a more important and happy thing for Butterfly Ninja than killing the evil ghost. Condor World. Master, I'm going to attend the chat group meeting tomorrow. For those of you who are coming, please make arrangements first. Guijing said to his master Hong Qigong. Oh, are you going to see the leader of the group, who is a god? Well, all group members, including the group leader, will show up tomorrow. I've been joining the chat group for so long, and I can finally meet them in person. By the way, Jinger, what's the purpose of calling all the people scattered around? Could it be that you are already preparing to take action against the Imperial Court? I do have this idea, but I called them here not for this matter, but for other things. When I finish this matter, it's time to take action against the Imperial Court. What Guijing was talking about was naturally about using God-level piano skills to remove cancer. He has mastered the God-level piano skill, and his men are much stronger than before and have the power to compete with the Imperial Court. Now everything is ready. All we need is the East Wind. After he had eliminated the cancer in his men, it was time to take action against the Imperial Court. But before that, the party is more important. Armor the world. Everyone, please allow me to take a day off tomorrow. Shinan said to several other summoners. What's wrong? Xi and Nan, do you have a piano competition tomorrow? Baikyo asked very curiously. During this period of time, Shinan had conquered all the group members, and even Bei Miao was convinced by him. There is no other way. The God-level breathing method is so fragrant. Chapter 88. Everyone, welcome to the world I created. With the support of Bei Miao and Mei Jin's deceased relatives, Shinan bought all the God-level breathing techniques and God-level piano skills he wanted to obtain in them all. He also taught the God-level breathing method to other summoners, allowing them to feel the magic and power of the God-level breathing method. Therefore, they're now convinced of Shinan, even Bei Miao, because Shinan not only taught them the God-level breathing method, but also took on the responsibility of being a captain, as he said. Of course, Shinan also told them that if there was a piano competition, he would still participate. Others, including Bei, expressed their understanding. So now, when they heard that Shinan was going to take a day off, everyone else thought that it was because Shinan was going to participate in the piano competition. No, the piano competition won't start for some time. I'm going to party tomorrow. This is the first party of our chat group. Shinan said very excitedly. Even he, who is usually very indifferent, was very excited at this time. This is the first meeting of the chat group. He finally gets to meet the other group members. Moreover, we can also meet the leader of the gods. You're going to party, so you won't be in our world tomorrow? Meijin said, very surprised. She didn't think that the first gathering of the chat group would choose their world. It should probably be to the world where the group leader is. Well, the group leader said he would take us to the universe he created. The group leader also created the universe. Bei Miao and others were almost stunned. This group leader is a bit too outrageous. Not only can you create so many magical skills, but now you can even create universes? Create a universe. This thing can also be created? Could it be that the universe they are in was also created by a god? Shinan, just go ahead and leave this place to us. Yes, Shinan, as long as we are here, you can go and enjoy the party. Without any hesitation, everyone else agreed that Shinan should go to the party. Even Bei Miao didn't have any dissatisfaction. This is the first gathering of the chat group, and the group leader will also appear. As a member of the chat group, of course Shinan wanted to go. What's more, there hasn't been much happening recently. Those supernatural beasts have been beaten stupid by them during this period. It is estimated that the Dark Guardian will take action on his own in the future. So there's no problem for Shinan to leave for a day. Even if I am away for a few days, it will be fine. Anyway, even if the Dark Guardian takes action in person, with their strength, even if they cannot seal them, they can still prevent them from messing around. Shinan nodded, looking forward to the arrival of the next day, even more than the piano competition. It can be said that if there is a piano competition tomorrow, he will choose to attend the party instead of participating in the piano competition. Not only Guijing, Alu, Butterfly Ninja, and Shinan, but other group members are also looking forward to the next day. In fact, I was so excited that I didn't sleep all night. Finally, the next day came, and it was time for the party. Subai, at all members, everyone, I have released my authority now, and you can come over. If you want to go to the world of another group member, you need the permission of that group member. If Subai doesn't agree, others won't be able to get through. So after he agrees, other group members can pass. Moreover, Subai has now arrived in the world of his own creation. So when other group members come over later, they will also come directly to his world. The group members couldn't wait to use the time travel function one by one, and then they saw a black passage appear in front of them. I am leaving. Master, I'm going to leave first. I'd like you to deal with the things here first. Everyone, I'm going to leave first. If a supernatural beast appears today, I'll be in trouble for you. Lingling, I'm leaving first, and I'll bring you some delicious food. It's delicious food made by a group member with god-level cooking skills. The group members said goodbye to their partners one by one, and then walked into the passage. When the scene in front of them changed, they found that they had arrived in a strange place. A sunny and handsome young man was looking at them with a smile. Lord Group Leader, Broter Subai. Seeing this young man, the group members greeted him excitedly. They had seen the true face of the group leader during the live broadcast before, but it was their first time, except Diya, to see the leader of the group in person. Now, they finally meet the group leader offline. They saw a real god with their own eyes. This is a supreme honor. Everyone, welcome to the world I created. Subai looked at the group members arriving one by one and said with a smile, watching these characters who could only be seen in animations and film and television dramas before, now appear alive in front of me. Subai was also very emotional. If he could take a photo and send it to his previous world, it would probably cause a sensation. But more often than not, people will probably misunderstand that they are doing cosplay. Broter Subai, we meet again. Diya ran to Subai and said with a smile on his face. At this time, Diya is no longer the girl who is full of darkness and despair in life. Now she's a normal and lively girl. Yes, we meet again. What happened to you next? Galaxy, I didn't come to trouble you, right? No, they probably don't know that Carrot is dead yet, so the pretty girl will give me time to develop. That's good. If you encounter any danger, remember not to be impulsive. I know, Brother Subai, if I encounter any danger again, I will definitely ask you for help. Seeing that Diya and Subai are so familiar, Butterfly Ninja, and Xiao Longnu are very envious. They looked at each other and came to Subai. Brother Subai, I am a Butterfly Ninja. Brother Subai, I am Xiao Longnu. The two introduced themselves to Subai, and they seemed very reserved. Before meeting Brother Subai, they were very excited and looking forward to it, thinking about the scene when they met Brother Subai. But when they actually saw him, they found that they were very reserved and embarrassed to talk to Brother Subai. Relax a little. Am I that scary? You don't have to be so reserved. Subai looked at the two people and said with a smile, and you guys come here, don't be too nervous. Immediately, Subai said to Garp and others. They were standing not far away, not knowing whether they should come over or not. However, after hearing Subai's words, they looked at each other and walked over. Lord Group Leader, is this the world you created? Garp looked around and asked curiously. The others were the same, looking around with a very curious mood. The world they live in is not the world where the leader of the group lives. It is a world created by the group leader himself. Well, but now this world is not complete and has not become a complete universe. You may not feel it, but it is growing at a very fast speed. It is estimated that it will become a complete universe in a few days. So, Lord Group Leader, the universe you created is almost complete now. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been a few more days to become whole. No, it's only been 1 day since I created this universe. Other group members had question marks over their heads. What did they just hear? It only took 1 day for the group leader to create this universe? The leader of the group just said that it will become a complete universe in a few days? Could it be that the group leader's concept of time is different from theirs? In fact, the few days he mentioned represent hundreds of millions of years. You don't have to think about it. Why said will happen in a few days really means it will happen in a few days. Seeing the expressions of the group members, Subai guessed what they were thinking and couldn't help but smile. So, Mr. Group Leader, are you saying that it only took you a few days to create a complete universe? A universe that is the same as the universe in our world? Roughly the same. All the group members were stunned, especially those who knew the concept of universe, who were even more shocked. You must know that in their world, even the universe has not been fully explored, and some have even just left the solar system. But here, the group leader, the unknown universe, can actually be created within a few days. This is a bit too outrageous. The leader of the group, how powerful is he? Okay, let's not talk about this anymore. Now that you are all here, we can start the party. I have prepared the place. Come with me. Subai took the others into a room. The room is large and has many entertainment facilities for people to enjoy. Don't be polite, everyone. Just treat it like your own home. This is also the first time that Subai has hosted so many people on his property. But he used to watch TV, and it was always like this. The things Subai prepared are extraordinary. Even entertainment facilities are the same. Not to mention Guijing, Xiao Longnu, and Butterfly Ninja, the 3 ancient and modern people. Even Oga Tatsumi, Lu Paiqiang, and other modern people look like Grandma Lu entering the Grandview Garden. Sir Group Leader, these are the ingredients I brought. Alu handed Subai the ingredients he dragged behind him. Subai took a look at the ingredients. There were many kinds of ingredients, and there were even several complete animals among them. Moreover, the animals in the captive world of delicious food are all extremely huge, and they are animals that are not found in other worlds. Wow, Aru, you brought so many ingredients. Isn't it a bit too much? There are only so many of us. We can't finish them all. Garp looked at the ingredients behind Aru that could be described as a hill and said with some emotion, the same goes for everyone else. This is the first time they see a mountain of ingredients piled up in front of them. This scene can be said to be very spectacular. There are so many ingredients, let alone just a few of them. Even if it is supplied to hundreds of people, it is more than enough. It's not a big problem, just eat more. Alu said with a smile. He didn't know if any of the other group members were as big eaters as him, so he prepared more. After all, this is their first party. Wouldn't it be very shameful if you don't bring enough ingredients by then? You can sit wherever you want and don't worry about wasting it. If you can't finish it, you can pack it back to eat, or you can pack some for your friends and partners. As Subai spoke, he moved the ingredients to another room. This room is the kitchen he specially prepared for the young master. Little master, I'll leave it to you next. With so many ingredients, this is a difficult task. A difficult task indeed. The little boss looked at the mountains of ingredients, and the corners of his mouth twitched slightly. As a chef, he has seen a lot of ingredients, and he has also seen a lot of ingredients piled together. But none of it could compare to the scene in front of me. If it were him before, if he wanted to make all these ingredients into gourmet food, he wouldn't be able to do it in a few days. And there shouldn't be too long a break in between. It could be said that after he has processed so many ingredients, he'll be almost done. But fortunately, he now has God-level cooking skills and can make delicious food quickly. Moreover, the kitchen prepared by the group leader, Xiao Longnu, is full of high-tech kitchen utensils. After mastering God-level cooking skills, you can perfectly master various kitchen utensils and machines from ancient and modern times, both at home and abroad. However, because the young master lived in ancient times, he could only use ancient kitchen utensils. This was the first time he saw modern kitchen utensils. There's not much change from ancient kitchen utensils, but there are some high-tech machines that can cook food quickly. Let me help too. Alu walked into the kitchen and said to the young master. He has also mastered God-level cooking skills. After all, for a super foodie, the attraction of God-level cooking skills is very important. It would be too time-consuming for the little boss to handle so many ingredients by himself. If one more person handles it, the speed will be much faster. Then I'll trouble you. The young master did not refuse. Alu, who also mastered God-level cooking skills, was no worse than himself in cooking. Xiao Dongjia and Alu started to process the ingredients, while Subai sat with others and played and chatted. How's it going, Shinan? Are Bei Miao convinced by you now? How the people behind Meijin supported you? Yes, Lord Group Leader. Bei Miao is convinced to me now, and the people behind Meijin and Doctor are also supporting me. I have now acquired God-level breathing techniques and God-level piano skills. That's good. How about you, Duanmu? Does Ma Qingshan support you? Yes. After he went back, he asked his father for money and then bought various treasures for me to exchange for points. I have now obtained the God-level breathing method, and my strength has improved a lot. I even think that after a while, I will be able to deal with those oxels without summoning armor. The same goes for me. After a while, I think I can deal with those supernatural beasts without summoning armor. Chapter 89. It's great to be able to keep in touch and get together. Xinnan and Duanmuyan looked at each other and smiled at each other. As armor summoners, they all have the same idea. In other words, it's not just them. Every armor summoner should have the same idea. That means you can fight monsters physically without summoning armor. When we can do this, it will be really cool. And when will their strength be stronger than the summoned armor? That armor is equivalent to becoming their limiter. But if you want to achieve this kind of strength, you must have at least a strength of about 4 stars. They have not been practicing God-level breathing methods for a long time, and there is still some gap between them and the 4-star level strength. During this period, those supernatural beasts have been frightened by us and rarely come out for activities. But we all think they must be preparing some big move. But in the face of strong strength, all conspiracies and tricks are useless. I agree with your point of view, Shinan. The most important thing is that you are strong. You at least have a few teammates to help you. But what about me? We're teammates. I've never seen one before. If I hadn't been so powerful, my world would have been dominated by Oxer. And now I also asked King Shan to go undercover. When I go to Jiicho, I will be the evidence of the mastermind behind Oxer. Once the evidence is found, Li Xiaoqiu will be arrested directly. Yes, as long as it continues to develop, those guys who are causing trouble in our world will one day be completely eliminated. The 2 armor summoners, Xin Nan and Duan Muyan, were discussing their own affairs very excitedly. Because they are both armor summoners, it can be said that they cherish each other and regret meeting each other so late. As for the others, they all gathered together and talked about things in their own world. Of course, the 3 female members, Xiao Longnu, Butterfly Ninja, and Diya, naturally gathered around their brother Subai. They call each other Brother Subai and Brother Tian. Of course, they didn't compete with each other. After all, they were all members of the chat group. And they also know very well that they cannot monopolize Brother Su by alone. Therefore, the people around them will become their sisters from now on. They want to unite the front, so naturally they can't fight among themselves. Looking at their sweet, smiling faces, Subai also knew their inner thoughts. Indeed, the three of them are goddesses in the hearts of many people. For 50, it's a pity that he is still too young. Even the oldest butterfly ninja is only 18 years old. He still prefers to be a little more mature. When they grow up a little bit, it should be almost the same. This is not a big problem. For him now, a few years is nothing. Even if it takes hundreds of years or tens of thousands of years, it will not have any impact on him, and he can afford to wait. Seeing the happy, excited, and happy faces of the group members, Subai was also very satisfied. After this gathering, the relationship between the group members will become deeper. Although the relationship between the group members was very good before. But after all, we have never met in real life. It can be said that we are all netizens. It is basically difficult to take your relationship to the next level. Only after meeting each other in reality and getting along with each other in real life can the relationship develop further. In the past, Subai felt that just chatting well online did not mean much at all. Being able to get along well in reality is the key. Now he's even more convinced of his idea. No matter how good you chat online, it's all in vain if you can't get along in real life. As time passed by, Xiao Dongjia and Alu finally finished processing all the ingredients and turned them into delicious dishes. Everyone, it's time to start dinner. Xiao Dongjia and Alu came out pushing a big cart filled with delicacies made by them. Of course, Alu was mainly pushing because he was stronger. The young master has not yet obtained the god-level breathing method, so he is just an ordinary person now, and he is still a child in his teens, so naturally he does not have much strength. Everyone, this is the first gathering of our chat group. I hope everyone can eat well, drink well, and have a happy party. As the leader of the group, Subai naturally wanted to say a few words before starting the meal. Of course, he didn't know how to speak too literarily, so he just said a few words casually like the TV series he had watched before. In short, after this gathering, I believe the relationship between us has become deeper. Now that we are destined to join the chat group, we are a family and we will continue to get along well in the future. Don't worry, group leader, we will definitely get along well. Brother Subai is right. After joining the chat group, we become a family, so we will definitely get along well. Under the leadership of the group leader, our chat group will definitely get better and better. Okay, I know everyone is hungry too, so let's get started. Following Subai's order, the group members, who had been impatient for a long time, began to feast. Alu and Xiaodangjia are not bad. They have mastered god-level cooking skills and can usually make their own delicious food. But others have not mastered god-level cooking skills, so they usually cannot eat such delicious food. All we can do is wait to be fed. Therefore, after the delicious food was served, they couldn't wait to smell the rich aroma. Then, Alu showed his terrifying appetite in front of everyone. Aru's appetite is a bit scary. I think only my grandson Luffy can compare. Yes, Alu's appetite is terrifying, even more terrifying than the rest of us combined. You see, the group leader's appetite is not inferior to Alu's at all. As expected of Brother Subai, he is so handsome even when he is eating. Everyone was enjoying the meal, but everyone else was eating normally. Only Aru and Subai's appetite is not on the same level as them. Needless to say, Aru's appetite is terrifying. In other words, in the captive world of delicious food, as long as he is a strong person, his appetite will not be much worse. As for Subai, his previous food intake was also within the normal eating area. But after fusing Sion's bloodline, his appetite became Sion's appetite. As for how terrifying Sion's appetite is, I believe anyone who has watched Dragon Ball knows it. Fortunately, Aru brought a lot of ingredients. Otherwise, there won't be enough for everyone, especially Subai and Alu, the two big eaters. Fortunately, after everyone is full, there is still some delicious food left for the group members to pack and take back. Everyone, I'm very happy about this party. I don't know how you feel about it. After eating and drinking, the party came to an end. Subai looked at all the group members and said with a smile. He was indeed very happy at this party. Although he is a homebody, he always likes to stay at home, both before and now. But that doesn't mean he doesn't like going out and partying with his friends. He has never been so happy since traveling through time. Son Goku and Trunks are all cultivators. Even if you have a party with them, they will only eat with their heads covered and cannot chat happily, which is a bit boring. Of course, it will become much more lively after the other warriors are resurrected. When Subai watched Dragon Ball in the past, except for the exciting battle scenes, what he likes to watch most is the daily time when all the Z warriors gather together. And he also promised Son Goku and the others that as long as they can win the competition, he will resurrect the others. After this party is over, he will give them a surprise. When the time comes, Cabe, the situation where he could only watch the soldiers gather together will change, and he can also participate. Lord Group Leader, we are also very happy. Yes, it is a very happy thing to be able to happily chat and eat with my good friends. Brother Subai, I think we should hold such gatherings frequently in the future to deepen our relationship. Yes, this is our first gathering, but it will definitely not be the last. And maybe, when we get together next time, there will be new friends joining us. Yes, the group leader is right. Our chat group will definitely grow stronger in the future. I don't know who else will join in the future. Other group members are also looking forward to it. There are only a few of them in the chat group now, but that doesn't mean there will always be only a few of them. More and more people will definitely join in the future. As the chat group grows larger and larger, the gathering will become more and more lively. Okay, I know that you must have sacrificed your time in order to attend this party. You have other things to do. In that case, I won't waste your time anymore. This party has ended successfully. Although the group members were very satisfied with this party, they wanted to continue having a good time. But they also know that happy times like this are short-lived. Except for a few group members who have nothing to do recently, others still have their own things to do. You can't just immerse yourself in a happy time all the time. Whenever I kill all the supernatural beasts, I will have a lot of free time in the future. Me too. When I kill all the oxels, I will have a lot of time. Even if I just party for a few days or nights, it will be fine. I'm fine. I have wiped out all the evil spirits. The Demon Slayer Corps has now transformed into an organization that protects peace and is developing steadily. The lunar engine will be tested after I return. As long as the test is successful, we can officially start the mountain moving plan. I'll be fine by then. The same goes for me. When I go back, I will use my god-level piano skills to eliminate some cancers in my men. When the cancer is eliminated, it will be time to take action against the Zhao and Song royal family. Then I will take action against the Jin Kingdom and Xixia. After these countries are unified, I will have nothing to do. In that case, everyone, I'm waiting for your good news. After this gathering, some group members will also start their own things. Of course, Subai believes that with the help of the chat group, they will definitely succeed. With the help of the group leader, we will definitely succeed. Lord Group Leader, just wait for our good news. The group members also have confidence in themselves, or in other words, in their group leader. With the help of the magical skills uploaded by the group leader, they don't believe that they can't complete their plan. Afterwards, each group member packed up the remaining delicacies and prepared to take them back for their friends to taste. Sir Group Leader, we will use it. Brother Subai, goodbye. See you. After saying goodbye to Subai, the group members left. Looking at their leaving figures, Subai felt a little emotional. It is indeed a very happy time when we get together. But when we are apart, there will be a feeling of emptiness. Fortunately, we are not saying farewell forever, and we will have the opportunity to meet again in the future. And you can usually chat in the chat group. However, Subai thought of the people he had not contacted for a long time before traveling through time. They had a good relationship in the past, but I don't know when they started. They never contacted each other again and never saw each other again. All I can say is that life is full of changes and things are impermanent. It would be great to be able to keep in touch after parting and to be able to get together again. The biggest fear is not knowing when we will no longer see each other or contact each other. Wandering around the Earth world. The construction of the lunar engine has been completed, and the next step is to test it. We have tried our best to do our best in every detail. I believe this test will definitely be successful. After Liu Paiqiang returned, the construction of the lunar engine was completed. Next comes the testing phase. As long as the test is successful, the 3 lunar engines can be started and leave with the moon. And this is also a crucial step in the mountain moving plan. After all, if the moon does not leave, the Earth will not be able to leave. For this test, those who built the lunar engine are full of confidence and believe that it will be successful. After all, even the planetary engine on the Earth has been successful, and the lunar engine is much simpler than the planetary engine. By the way, how is that Tianhu doing now? Before the test, Liu Paiqiang suddenly remembered what Su Bai told him before. That is, this Tianhu will destroy the moon engine. Therefore, you need to control the other party. Don't worry, he has been controlled and will not affect us. That's good. Liu Paiqiang nodded and then prepared to start testing the lunar engine. At the same time, somewhere in a certain city in China, Tianhu, who was supposed to be controlled, was walking secretly in a corridor. His goal was a room in the corridor. Chapter 90, a sudden change occurred. This time, we have a trouble the group leader again. Tianhu came to a room in the corridor, locked the door, looked at a machine in the room, and couldn't help showing an excited expression. This is currently the most high-tech quantum computer, 550W. Then, he opened the computer he brought with him, connected the 550W after some operations, and took out a USB flash drive. Tianhu, what do you want? At this time, the person who originally controlled Tianhu also found Tianhu. They really didn't expect that Tianhu would be let go because of their own negligence. You must know that this is the person Liu Paiqiang personally asked to be under strict supervision. Now they actually let me go. This is simply a serious dereliction of duty. Fortunately, they found Tianhu. As long as they arrest him, everything should be fine. It's just that Tianhu locked the door, so they couldn't get in. Moreover, this is a 550W room. The glass is the hardest tempered glass, and the door is also made of special materials. Once the door is locked, it will take some time to get in. Tianhu looked at the people outside the door through the glass and showed a sneer. Then, he took the USB flash drive in his hand and inserted it into the computer. The content of the USB flash drive was a video of only about 1 minute. In the video was a little girl, and the little girl could also have a conversation with Tianhu. Yeah, I said, I will give you a complete life. This little girl is Tianhu's daughter, YY. Tianhu lost his wife and daughter due to a car accident. His daughter was only a few years old when she died, and she still had a long life ahead of her. Therefore, he uploaded his daughter's consciousness, but she could only live for 1 minute at most. Therefore, he has always wanted to give his daughter a complete life. But none of the previous quantum computers had this capability. But 550W is different. It will update and iterate by itself. So, it can definitely give Yaya a complete life. But then again, the reason why Tianhu's daughter and wife got into a car accident was entirely because Tianhu looked back at his daughter while driving. If there is no accident, who will be? Therefore, Tianhu was the culprit who killed his wife and daughter. So, if you drive irregularly, your loved ones will burst into tears. After plugging it into the computer, the video that was originally only 1 minute began to become longer at a rapid speed. At this time, those who controlled Tianhu had already come in, but it was too late. 550W, already in operation, and 550W controls the lunar engine. So at this time, on the other side, Liu Paiqiang and others were immersed in the joy of successful lunar engine testing. Moreover, they have announced this matter to the whole world and started 3 lunar engines to push the moon away from the Earth. But the next moment, what's going on? How come the operation of the lunar engine is overloaded? Someone discovered that the operation of the lunar engine was beginning to be overloaded. Originally, this should be impossible because the one that controls the lunar engine is 550W. But now there's a problem with the lunar engine. That means there is something wrong with the 550W. Tianhu. Liu Paiqiang immediately thought of Tianhu. The group leader had told him before that Tianhu would cause problems with the lunar engine. Therefore, he has already asked people to control the other party. But unexpectedly, a problem still occurred. At this time, the phone of a person next to Liu Paiqiang rang. After listening to the call, his face became very ugly. What happened? Is it that guy, Tianhu? Well, that guy Tianhu escaped, and he also used 550W, which caused problems with the ball motor. Damn it. What do those guys do for a living? Peking obviously told them that they must watch Tianhu carefully. Those guys, every one of them, will have to go to military court. You must know that those guarding Tianhu are the most elite soldiers. Tianhu was actually able to escape like this. Moreover, it brought such a big trouble. There's a problem with the lunar engine, and it's at such a critical time. Director, a lunar engine has been damaged due to overload operation. Director, the other 2 lunar engines have also been damaged. Director, the moon has begun to return and has already left its orbit. If this continues, the ball will hit the Earth. The reason why a lunar engine is built is to keep the moon away from the Earth so that the Earth can navigate without being affected by the moon. It had already been successful. The lunar engine pushed the moon out of its orbit and flew towards the depths of the universe. Next, as long as the 10,000 planetary engines on the Earth are started, the Earth can start sailing in the universe. But now, the lunar engine is damaged, and without thrust, the moon begins to return. Moreover, the moon has been out of orbit before, and it is impossible to get back into orbit. The moon that is out of orbit will hit the Earth within the Earth's history. Once the moon hits the Earth, let alone any plans to move mountains, the entire human civilization will be destroyed. You must know that the moon hitting the Earth is more terrifying than the disaster that caused the extinction of the dinosaurs. The Earth may be fine, but all living creatures living on the Earth will be wiped out in an instant. Damn it. If I had known earlier, I should have taken care of Tianhu myself. Lu Peiqiang's face was also very ugly at this time. He didn't expect that something went wrong with Tianhu, causing the target's engine to be damaged. If he had known this earlier, he should have personally watched over Tianhu. Under his supervision, Tianhu will definitely not have a chance to escape. But now, it's too late to say anything. There's only one problem now, and that is to solve the lunar crisis. There's only one way to solve the lunar crisis, and that is to destroy the moon. But the question is how to do it. The lunar engine was destroyed, and the moon began to crash into the Earth. There was no way to hide it. Soon, the whole world knew the news. This instantly plunged the whole world into panic. If the moon really hits the Earth, let alone take the Earth with it, they're going to finish playing now. Fortunately, the moon does not fall immediately. There is still some time. Taking advantage of this period of time, after a series of discussions, various countries decided to gather nuclear weapons from all over the world to blast the moon. Of course, even if all the nuclear weapons in the world were combined, it would be impossible to destroy the moon. At most, they would blast a few craters on the moon. Therefore, after calculation, these nuclear weapons need to be placed at designated locations. After the explosion, the moon can collapse and eventually destroy itself. It is equivalent to all nuclear weapons combined being just a fuse. The real bomb is actually the moon itself. But the problem is that these nuclear weapons require someone to go to the moon to detonate them, because the workload of deciphering the nuclear weapons code is too large and cannot be completed in a short time. Only manual detonation is possible, and those who go to detonate nuclear weapons cannot come back alive. Who will carry out this lifeless task is a question, because this is a mission that requires death. Who can overcome the fear of death to carry out the mission? Therefore, various countries also gathered pilots and told them this life or death mission, allowing them to make their own choices. Moreover, time must be fast, because once the moon reaches the Roche limit, even detonating the moon will be useless, because the debris after the moon explodes will destroy everything on the surface. At the same time, Lu Peiqiang, who was troubled by the lunar crisis, suddenly received a message from the chat group. It has been detected that a group member is in crisis. Would you like to issue a shared task so that other group members can help? Seeing this news, Lu Zhenqiang slapped himself on the head. That's right. He was dumbfounded. He was not fighting alone now. He also had a chat group and other group members. Publish it. Ding. Group member Lu Peiqiang released a shared task. Mission content. Solve the lunar crisis. Task reward. 1 million points. Note, this task is quite difficult and requires group members with 6-star strength or above to accept the task. The release of the task immediately attracted the attention of other people in the chat group. Garp, huh? Why did Pai Qiang issue the mission? Is there any trouble that he can't solve? Subai, looking at the mission content, Lunar Crisis, it seems that the lunar engine has been damaged and the moon is crashing into the Earth. Lu Pai Qiang, the group leader is right. It's all my problem. The group leader obviously told me to be careful about Tu Hongyu, but he still succeeded. Subai, it's not a big problem. In fact, even if you're optimistic about Tu Hongyu, the football crisis will probably happen. Subai, because it was not just Tu Hongyu who caused the lunar crisis. Although Tu Hongyu did use 550W, just one Tu Hongyu could not cause a lunar crisis. The 550W is the most advanced quantum computer. Could it be that the lunar engine was damaged just because of Tu Hongyu's actions? Behind this, there are other black hands, like those at the Digital Life Project. For example, 550W itself, Lu Pai Qiang. So that's it. Seeing Subai say this, Lu Pai Qiang felt much better. Originally, he blamed himself. Lu Pai Qiang. Now the moon is crashing into the Earth. High-level officials from various countries have decided to detonate the moon, but there is no time, so they can only detonate it manually. Lu Pai Qiang. I don't want to see so many people sacrifice, so I just want to ask for your help. Oga Tatsumi. This mission requires a strength of 6 stars or above. Oga Tatsumi. Except for the leader of the group, no one else has this strength. Garp. Yes, my current strength is not even 5-star, let alone 6-star. Butterfly Ninja. It seems that we're going to trouble Brother Subai again this time. Diya. But why is the difficulty of shared tasks so high every time? Only Brother Subai can complete them. Duan Mayan. Who says it's not the case? If we can complete it, we can also get some points. At least 6-star level strength. Only the group leader has such strength in the group. So this mission can only be completed by the group leader. This also makes other groups the member felt a little helpless. Can't there be a few simpler shared tasks so that they can earn some points? Although they also follow the group leader to gain points. But they won't do that. They did absolutely nothing and just lost the group leader's points. Let's not talk about whether the group leader will be angry, but given their character, they cannot do such a thing. Subai, it seems that I am the only one who can complete the task this time. Subai, so you still need to improve your strength as soon as possible, so that you can complete the task when the time comes. Subai didn't care much about the 1 million points rewarded by the mission. After all, he has obtained the Scion bloodline now, and there is nothing he wants for the time being. However, there is one thing that he quite agrees with, and that is the 2 shared tasks that have appeared so far. One time for Diya, and one time for Lu Pai Qiang. The difficulty of the tasks was quite high. It's naturally not high for him, but it's too high for others. Without him, no one would be able to complete these 2 tasks, or the others are too weak. After others gain strength, they will be able to complete more tasks. Lu Pai Qiang, then please leave it to the group leader. Lu Pai Qiang. To be honest, if the chat group hadn't suddenly reminded me whether to post a task, I would have really forgotten to ask for help in the group. Diya. So, Brother Lu Pai Qiang, if you encounter any trouble in the future, don't be too impulsive and seek help from the group. Lu Pai Qiang. Well, I finally understand now. When Diya was in danger before, his first thought was to die with the enemy. Lu Pai Qiang. When people are in extreme crisis, they will really ignore many things. Before, he was also part of the group that comforted Diya not to be impulsive. But now that it was his turn, he finally understood. When people encounter a huge crisis, they will really ignore many things. Just like him, if it weren't for the reminder from the chat group, he would really forget to ask for help from other group members. If because of his negligence, many pilots from various countries were sacrificed, then when he reacts later, he will definitely die of guilt, thanks to the chat group for reminding him at the critical moment. Lu Pai Qiang hurried to the place where pilots were selected. He had to stop them before they set off. At this time, under the leadership of Chinese pilot Zhang Peng, the Chinese pilots for the mission had already assembled. Pilots over 50 years old, get out of the queue. This is what Zhang Peng said, and it is also the way to select Chinese pilots. They leave the hope of life to young people. Chapter 91, How About Changing the Sun for You? Led by Zhang Peng, other countries have adopted the same approach, with pilots over 50 years old voluntarily volunteering. This moment is the moment for human stars to shine. At this moment, pilots over 50 years old from all over the world are leaving their hope of life to young people. At this moment, no matter which country you are from, you are so great. At this moment, the hymn of mankind is the hymn of courage. You must know that they did not know that Lu Paiqiang was seeking help. Therefore, they all defeated fear and carried out the plan with the awareness of death. Look at the pilots from various countries who are performing missions. The remaining young pilots all raised their hands in salute, and those pilots over 50 years old also saluted in response. This was also their last salute. However, just as these pilots were preparing to set off, a figure suddenly ran over. And this figure is none other than Lu Paiqiang. Everyone, please wait a moment. Paiqiang, what can you do? We have to leave for the moon right now. Otherwise, it will be too late. Zhang Peng said to Lu Paiqiang. He is Lu Paiqiang's master and the person who is most familiar with Lu Paiqiang among all the people present. But he didn't know what was wrong with Lu Paiqiang coming here now. You don't have to go to the moon. I've figured out a way to solve it. Think of a solution? Paiqiang, this is a lunar crisis. There is only one solution, and that is to destroy the moon. What's your solution? Zhang Peng said subconsciously, but soon he reacted. Could it be that you? Yes, master. I found someone to help. 153. Others were very confused about the conversation between the master and the apprentice and didn't know what they were talking about. Only Zhang Peng knew what Lu Paiqiang meant, because he also knows about the chat group. Since Lu Paiqiang said that he found someone to solve the problem, he must have found other people in the chat group to help. And according to what Lu Paiqiang said before, there's only one person in the chat group who is capable of solving this crisis. That is the group leader of the chat group, the god. Great! This time a moon crisis can be solved. Zhang Peng was very excited. He glanced at the blank eyes around him and said nothing. Not many people know about chat groups. Before those people speak, it's better not to tell anyone about the chat group. Anyway, they will know when the time comes. Because this time the group leader takes action to solve the lunar crisis. Things about the chat group cannot be kept secret, and others will definitely know about it. But the problem is not big. As long as the group leader can solve the moon crisis, their status in China will be greatly improved. Because only Lu Paiqiang from China joined the chat group. After preventing pilots from various countries from setting off, Lu Paiqiang told his superiors about the matter. The representative of China in the United Government is Zhou Zhaji, a very great old man. It was he who proposed the mountain-moving plan on behalf of China, against all opinions. Later, when other countries were not optimistic about the construction of planetary engines, he also led China to successfully build a planetary engine with the power of one country and successfully ignited it. Many people saw the hope of the mountain-moving project and joined the mountain-moving project. When he received the news from Lu Paiqiang, he immediately convened a global meeting and convened representatives from all over the world. Everyone, this is Comrade Lu Paiqiang from China. He has a way to solve the moon project this time. At the meeting, Zhou Zhaji introduced Ru Peimian. Originally, Lu Paiqiang was only famous in China, and not many people abroad knew about him. And now, it means that he has officially gone global. Because time was tight, Lu Paiqiang did not hide it, but went straight to the point. In this lunar crisis, I found a very powerful being to help. He is a god, a true god. With the help of translation headphones, people from other countries can understand him. Therefore, their first reaction was that Lu Paiqiang was joking. Does real Wenzhongdong exist? Most of the representatives are atheists, so they do not believe in the existence of God. If he hadn't known about the existence of the chat group, even Zhou Zhaji would not have believed it, because he is also an atheist. But that was before. Now he already believes in the existence of God. I don't know if there's a God in their world, but there are indeed gods in other worlds. Seeing that no one else believed it, Lu Paiqiang was not surprised, because facts speak louder than words. Lu Paiqiang, Lord Group Leader, the current situation is like this. Lu Paiqiang explained the current situation so that Su Bai could prepare in advance. Su Bai, okay, after I appear on the stage, people in other countries will believe that God really exists. Su Bai, at that time, China's status will become the highest, and China will have the final say internationally. All of this was naturally discussed between Liu Paiqiang and Su Bai. Otherwise, he would not dare to do this. Doing this is taking advantage of the group leader, and he doesn't have the guts. Liu Paiqiang did this only after Su Bai agreed. As for the purpose, it is naturally to show off in front of representatives of all countries, so that China's international status can be improved, surpassing the Eagle country and becoming the highest. This is something that is beneficial to China, and Su Bai will naturally not refuse. Seeing that Liu Paiqiang's side was ready, Su Bai also used the time travel function to go to Liu Paiqiang's world. Then, a black passage appeared in front of Liu Paiqiang and everyone else. Everyone was dumbfounded when they saw the sudden passage. Even old man Zhou Zhaji, who had known about the existence of the chat group for a long time, was no exception. After all, he had only heard about it before, but had never seen it with his own eyes. And now, the appearance of this black passage means that the god is about to appear. You must know that he has lived for so long and has never seen a god. Now, I finally get to see it with my own eyes. Although they are not the gods in Chinese legends, they are gods from other worlds. But he is also a god. It is truly a great honor to see God in person. The next moment, Su Bai's figure walked out of the black passage. The moment Su Bai walked out, all eyes were focused on him. All representatives thought alike. Is this young man, who looks handsome and sunny, the legendary god? Sir Group Leader, I'm sorry to trouble you this time. Liu Paiqiang looked at Su Bai and said excitedly, with the group leader here, all problems are no longer a problem. But he didn't expect that he had just attended the party yesterday and met the group leader, the heavenly being. I didn't expect to see the group leader again so soon. It is naturally a very happy thing to meet the group leader. But the background is that the group leader is here to help solve the crisis. This caused some small flaws in the joy of meeting the group leader. But it's not a big problem. Are you the group leader and god that Pei Qiang mentioned? Zhou came straight to Su Bai, looked at Su Bai, and asked in shock. If I hadn't known about it in advance, it would have been hard to believe that such a handsome and sunny young man could actually be a legendary god. Just from the appearance, he is obviously a young man in his 20s. And why does this young man look so much like a Chinese? Hello, my name is Su Bai. Su Bai looked at Zhou Zhaji, and Tianhu greeted him politely. He still has great respect for this old man who has dedicated his life for China and the earth. Nor will he look arrogant in front of the other party just because he is a god. Su Bai's greeting also made Zhou stunned, even very flattered. He didn't expect this legendary god to be so polite. But Liu Paiqiang seemed much calmer. Everyone in the group doesn't know that their group leader is powerful and kind-hearted, and he never puts on airs like the group leader or a god. This is also an important reason why they like the group leader so much. Not only because the group leader uploaded many magical skills to improve their strength, and it's also because the group leader has a very good personality and his character. No, he should be very noble. Master Su Bai, I will trouble you this time. Zhou Zhaji did not struggle with this issue, because the most important issue now is the lunar crisis. The people who originally detonated the moon should have already set off. But because Master Su Bai would help solve the crisis, they did not set off. In other words, the life and death of human beings are now in the hands of Master Su Bai. Once Mr. Su Bai cannot solve the lunar crisis, it will basically be over for mankind. Because so much time was wasted, it was too late to detonate the moon again. So, how do you want to solve this crisis? Su Bai didn't take action immediately, but asked, "Well, what do you mean?" Zhou was stunned and didn't know what Su Bai meant. Even Liu Paiqiang didn't know what his group leader meant. Lord Group Leader, what do you mean by this? The way you solve this crisis is to destroy the moon. It's not difficult for me, but I have other solutions here, even solutions to your Earth crisis. Originally, Su Bai also wanted to destroy the moon directly. It couldn't be easier for him, but he suddenly thought that there seemed to be other solutions besides destroying the moon. Even if it is the Earth's crisis that Liu Paiqiang has always wanted to solve, he has a way to solve it. Since he's already here, it's better to just do it in one step. Master Subai, could you please explain it carefully? Zhozhi was confused by Subai's words and didn't know what Subai meant. Quite simply, sure destroying the moon, I can't get it back into its orbit. That way it won't hit the Earth. This, let's forget it. Zhozhi directly passed Su Zhong's proposal without even thinking about it. Indeed, if the moon is returned to its own orbit, it will not crash into the Earth. But the problem is, this means they have to rebuild the lunar engine and then let the moon leave. Then it's better to just destroy the moon and get it done. Anyway, their purpose is to make the moon stay away from the Earth, whether it is to go to the depths of the universe or to destroy it directly. Lord Group Leader, how do you solve the crisis on our planet you just mentioned? Compared to solving the moon crisis, Liu Pei was more interested in how Subai solved the Earth crisis. Why would they want to solve the moon crisis after all? Isn't it to serve the Earth? If the group leader has a way to solve the Earth crisis, then it would be the best. Originally, he planned to rely on the God-level breathing method to cultivate to 7-star strength and 8-star strength, and then quickly leave the solar system with the Earth and go to his new home. But now, if the group leader has a way to solve the Earth's crisis, that would be perfect, of course. After all, the sooner the Earth's crisis is resolved, the sooner mankind can return to normal life. Actually, the reason why your Earth is in crisis is because you discovered that the sun is aging rapidly and will swallow the entire solar system after a while. That's why you want to take the Earth to wander and find a new home for mankind. Well, that's true. So it's easy to solve your planet's crisis. I have 2 methods here. As for 5.3, I don't know which method you will choose. 2 ways? Please let Mr. Subai know. Zhozhi did not expect that Liu Peiqiang originally invited this god to come over to solve the moon crisis. But now, even the Earth crisis can be eliminated. You must know that compared with the crisis on the Earth, the crisis on the moon is nothing. Even if the lunar crisis is solved this time, there is no telling what crisis we will encounter in the future. It would be better to directly ask this god to directly solve the crisis on Earth. The first way is, since your Earth crisis is caused by rapid aging, just change the sun. Subai said very casually, as if changing the sun was not difficult for him. In fact, it's really not that difficult. Not to mention finding a star similar to the sun from elsewhere in the universe. Even if it is to replace the sun with one that is exactly the same as the original one, it is not difficult for Subai at all. He can ask Whis to make a sun that is exactly the same as before, which is an easy task for Whis. It's okay, even if you don't find Whis, he also has this ability now. You must know that the universe creation method can directly create the universe. Creating a sun is not difficult at all. Seeing Subai talking so casually about changing to another sun, everyone except Liu Peiqiang twitched their mouths. Changing the sun is simply a fantasy for them, and it is simply impossible to achieve. But when it was said in the mouth of this god, it seemed so casual, as if it was not difficult at all for him. Is this a god? Is indeed so terrifying. Chapter 92, The Voting Choice of All Mankind. Set off for your new home. This is a good idea. If we can restore the sun, we won't need to leave the solar system. After the shock, Zhozhi began to think about the feasibility of this method. If only this god could really change the sun to the same one as before, then they don't need to find a new home for humans. However, he did not make a decision immediately, because this Lord God said that he has 2 ways. And replacing the sun is just the first way. There is a second way. Then I dare to ask Mr. Subai, what is the second method you mentioned? The second way is to not change the sun. I will take you directly to your destination, your new home. It will take you 2,500 years to arrive. I can speed up the process and let you arrive quickly. The second method Subai said silenced the entire audience. Originally, they were all planning to choose the first option. But now the second method seems to be good. After all, before the sun happened, they had always longed to explore the universe, leave the solar system, and explore other galaxies. But due to technological reasons, they have no way to go to other galaxies. Even leaving the solar system was completed not long ago. If it weren't for this solar crisis, it stimulated the potential of all human beings and led to the explosion of science and technology. They can't even make things like planetary engines and lunar engines, let alone sail with the Earth. And now, there's an opportunity in front of them to travel to other galaxies. How to choose is really a difficult problem. Moreover, this choice should not be decided by just a few of them, but should be decided by all human beings. Therefore, after some discussions, representatives from various countries decided to let all mankind make a choice. They told all mankind the two methods given by Su Bai and asked them to choose whether to change the sun and continue to stay in the solar system, or leave the solar system and go to a new galaxy. All humans will vote on these two methods, and whichever method gets more votes will be adopted. Sir Group Leader, what choice do you think we should make? When voting, Lu Paiqiang also asked Su Bai, hoping that Su Bai could give them some advice. No matter how I make a choice, it is all humans who make the final choice. I will not influence your thoughts. Su Bai said. He felt that it was meaningless for people wandering around the Earth to choose. Because this is their world, they should decide how to develop it themselves, rather than listening to other people's opinions. If he gave his advice, then they followed his advice. But when their development does not go smoothly in the future, they will start to blame themselves for why they should make choices for them. Why bother? So it's better to just let them make their own choices. In this way, no matter how they develop in the future, whether they develop well or poorly, it is their own choice and no one else can blame them. Then Mr. Su Bai, which of these two methods do you think will attract more people? Zhou Zhiji also asked very curiously. Before the voting results come out, it's really hard to say which method will be chosen by more people. What are the voting results now? Xiao Shi, what are the current voting results? Zhou asked a student How Xiaoxi directly. Teacher, the current voting result is that there are more votes to go to the new galaxy. How Xiaoxi looked at the voting results and replied, Master Su Bai, what do you think? Sure enough, it is human nature to take risks, and people are not afraid of new challenges. Su Bai was not surprised to learn the voting results. Humans are a race that dares to challenge and is not afraid of taking risks. After learning that they can go to a new galaxy, it is normal for them to choose to go to the new galaxy and see a new world. In fact, in Su Bai's heart, he also hopes that humans can choose the second method. Otherwise, if humans regret it by then, it will be too late. Although humans in this world plan to spend 2,500 years traveling to their new home, but the time is too long. Who knows what will happen in these 2,500 years? And you must know that in the original novel, the plan to wander around the Earth did not actually succeed. The Earth will be destroyed in the third crisis, the solar helium flash crisis. It was because at that time, many people felt that the experts were wrong, that there would be no problems with the sun, and that there was no need to wander around the Earth. For this reason, they even executed many scientists who implemented the Wandering Earth plan. As a result, he was taught how to be a good person by sun helium flash. There is no way, it really takes too long to get to the new home. It is not surprising that any problems and crises will arise in these 2,500 years. Of course, if you take the Earth directly to your new home, the Earth will not experience the subsequent Jupiter crisis and solar helium flash crisis. Perhaps in the future, when Lu Paiqiang encounters these two crises, he will issue shared tasks. But in order to gain so many points, it would be too devilish for the Earth to encounter two crises. You have to know the two crises, and you don't know how many people will die. Even if Lu Paiqiang had not joined the chat group, he would have died in the Jupiter crisis. There is no shortage of points, so there's no need to deliberately let the Earth experience two more crises just for a few points. He can't do such a thing yet. While waiting, more and more people voted. Everyone is watching the voting. Under this situation, even those people from the digital life sect who had been causing trouble no longer came out to cause trouble and joined in the voting. The reason why they choose to become digital life sects is because there is a crisis on the Earth. If the crisis on the Earth can be resolved, then they will naturally not choose to become digital beings. The purpose of becoming digital beings is to survive, and now they have hope of surviving. So why do they still need to become digital beings? Isn't it good to be a living person? After some time, the voting ended and the final voting results appeared. Sure enough, Human beings are a race that dares to take risks and challenges. The number of votes to go to a new galaxy is much greater than the number of votes to change the sun and stay in the solar system. Even if someone knew that the people around them voted for the sun, they would laugh at the other person for being too timid and too rigid. However, no matter which method is voted for, the calculation cannot be wrong. There are just two choices, whether to stick to the rules or dare to take risks. Master Subai, the voting results are out. Our choice is to go to a new galaxy. Zhozha told Su by the voting results. Lu Paiqiang also breathed a sigh of relief after learning the voting results. Why? Do you hope humans will choose this method? Subai looked at Lu Paiqiang and said with a smile. Hey, Lu Paiqiang touched his head, feeling a little embarrassed. He really hoped that humans would choose this method. Because the resources on the Earth are always limited, and the solar system is too small. He still wants to accumulate points, so he can buy Scion Bloodline after it comes out. What if the resources of the Earth and the solar system are not converted into points? So, might as well go to a new galaxy. Moreover, the new galaxy they are heading to is definitely larger than the solar system and has many more resources. After his strength increases, he can collect those resources. Moreover, after traveling to a new galaxy, the technological development of Earthlings should be much faster, and they will also be able to come into contact with other alien civilizations. What should those alien civilizations do if they have malicious intentions towards their fellow Earthlings? Think Lu Paiqiang is a vegetarian. Even if he can't do it, he has an entire chat group behind him. Friends came over and entertained them with wine and meat. But if a jackal comes, there's a shotgun for you. Therefore, traveling to a new galaxy is definitely more beneficial than staying in the solar system. However, even though he thinks so, it still depends on the choice of all mankind. If more people choose to stay in the solar system, then there is nothing he can do. He can only wait for his strength to improve before leaving the Earth for other galaxies. But right now, humanity's choice is to go to a new galaxy. That would save him a lot of effort. Now that you have made your choice, I will abide by the agreement and take you to the new galaxy. Your destination is probably Proxima Centauri in the constellation Centauri, which is 4.3 light years away. Subai remembers that this is the final destination of the wandering Earth. Although it is not stated explicitly in the movie, it is mentioned in the original novel. It is worth mentioning that the content of the original novel took place more than 100 years ago. I don't know how Lu Paiqiang and others will feel now when they know that all their efforts will be in vain more than 300 years later. But it's okay now, because he will take the Earth directly to the vicinity of Proxima Centauri. Then the question arises again. After arriving at Proxima Centauri, will Lu Paiqiang and the others encounter the Japanese in the future? This is really a problem. Yes, Master Subai, it's Proxima Centauri. Then I'll trouble Mr. Subai. Subai nodded and walked out. At the same time, several cameras around him were all focused on Subai, broadcasting Subai's appearance to all parts of the world, so that humans around the world could see him. Is this the God that the representatives from various countries spoke of? It is said that the two methods we use to vote were proposed by this God. There really is a God in this world. Anyway, as long as he can help us solve the crisis of the Earth, then he is a God. Humans all over the world don't know whether Subai is a God or not. However, as long as it can help them solve the crisis on the Earth, they can return to their previous life. Then he is the real God. Proxima Centauri is 4.2 light years away, right? In front of all the humans in the world, Subai flew up and soon left the Earth. In space, Subai could see that the moon was hitting the Earth at a very fast speed. If it continues like this, it will only take a few hours to hit the Earth. And the sun is aging and expanding rapidly, as those scientists said. Soon it will swallow up the entire solar system. Of course, it will be for stars soon. For humans, it will take at least several hundred years. In fact, for today's humans, they can still live the same life as before. Because at least within a few hundred years, the expansion of the sun will not swallow up the entire solar system, and it will not have a special impact on their lives. The reason why they formulated a plan to wander to the Earth when they discovered that the sun was aging rapidly. In fact, it is for the sake of future mankind. In fact, it doesn't matter that they are human beings now. By the time the earth is swallowed by the sun, they will already be dead, but not their descendants. Their descendants must continue to live on the earth. So in fact, everything humans are doing now is for the future, not the present. It is a pity that in the original novel, human beings discovered hundreds of years later that the sun did not seem to expand in age as much as in the legend. He felt that all this was just a conspiracy, so rebels emerged and even sentenced many scientists to death. As a result, he was taught how to be a good person by his son Helium Flash. I can only say that it is quite sad. Before setting off, Su Bai covered a layer of his own energy zone outside the Earth. For humans on Earth, it would take 2,500 years to travel to Proxima Centauri, which is 4.2 light-years away. But for him, it was just a matter of a moment. But at such a fast speed, if some protective measures are not taken for the Earth, there is only one fate for the Earth, and that is to be completely decomposed at such a fast speed. By the time it reaches Proxima Centauri, the Earth has already completely turned into dust in the universe. So some protective measures need to be taken. If we have the ability to protect it, then nothing will happen to the Earth. Even with Su Bai's energy protection, even if the sun really swallows the Earth, nothing will happen to the Earth. But in this case, human beings will be directly trapped and die in the Earth. When everything was ready, Su Bai began to take the Earth to sail in the universe. In just the blink of an eye, Su Bai brought the Earth to the vicinity of Proxima Centauri. Fast? Not fast at all. For humans on Earth, the distance of light years is already a very terrifying unit. Even the light takes a year to travel. But for the strong, a light year may be the same as a meter, or even a centimeter, or a millimeter, which is not far at all. Whis can travel from the gods of destruction to Earth in just over 20 minutes, almost across the entire universe. Although Su Bai is not as fast as Whis, but it's just a few light years away, and there's no problem at all in reaching it in an instant. After arriving near Proxima Centauri, Su Bai found a suitable location to place the Earth. Under the gravity of Proxima Centauri, the Earth begins to rotate around Proxima Centauri. And besides the Earth, there are other planets near Proxima Centauri. Some planets are even larger than the Earth. As for whether there is an extraterrestrial civilization above, it is left to Liu Paiqiang and his friends to explore. Chapter 93. Duke Zhou, Through the Ages. We want to build a statue for the group leader. After solving the crisis on the Earth, Su Bai returned to the Earth and came to Liu Paiqiang. It's done. Now the Earth has reached the vicinity of Proxima Centauri. I've put the Earth in its proper orbit so that it revolves around Proxima Centauri, just as it revolves around the Sun. This so fast, although he already knew that his group leader was a very terrifying existence. But when I learned that the Earth's crisis had been resolved so quickly, Liu Paiqiang couldn't help being surprised. Zhou Zhaji, Hao Xiaoxi, and others on the side were also very shocked. You must know that when they learned that the Earth's crisis had begun, they have been preparing to solve the Earth's crisis. But just the preparation work has already taken a lot of time. Even their subsequent plan is to reach their new home in 2,500 years. This is a plan that spans thousands of years. But how much time did it take in front of Master Su Bai? It doesn't even take a few seconds. You must know that it has only been a few dozen seconds since they saw Mr. Su Bai leave the Earth. Exclude the time that Su Bai spent searching for a suitable orbit for the Earth to revolve around Proxima Centauri. It is estimated that in just a few seconds, Mr. Su Bai brought the Earth from the solar system to here. How terrifying this is! Is this the power of gods? It really is so terrifying. From now on, you will survive in your new home, which is also the world outside the solar system that you have always wanted to explore. But I believe humans will definitely be able to adapt quickly. Thank you, Master Su Bai. By the way, since you all know about the chat group, Liu Paiqiang must have told you about God-level breathing techniques and the like. Before, it was because of the Earth crisis, so you couldn't fund him. But now that the Earth's crisis has been resolved, you can help support him. Otherwise, his strength cannot be improved quickly. Although he lent Liu Paiqiang points, Lu Guo obtained the God-level breathing method. But if Lu Paiqiang is not supported, he will not be able to afford any good things in the future. Everyone else has a way to get points, but Lu Paiqiang doesn't. Then his strength will be quickly reduced. As a member of the chat group, Su Bai didn't want to see Lu Paiqiang left behind by others. Lord Group Leader, Lu Paiqiang looked at Su Bai and was so moved. What group member would not love such a kind, powerful, and considerate group leader? Not to mention the female members. Even the male members will fall. It's a pity that I am born as a boy. If I were born as a girl, I would really only have the leader of the group in my heart in this life. Don't worry, Mr. Su Bai. Now that the Earth's crisis has been resolved, our resources can be idle and used to support comrade Lu Paiqiang. Zhou nodded to Su Bai and assured firmly. Lu Paiqiang did talk to them about funding before. The results were also obvious. It was a critical moment for developing lunar engines and building planetary engines. It is impossible to use precious resources to support Lu Paiqiang. Even if they believe that what happened in the chat group is true, they won't do it. Because I really can't afford to gamble. Who knows how long it will take Lu Paiqiang to grow up to the point where he can solve the Earth crisis. How many resources will be used to support Lu Paiqiang? Without these resources, what should we do with the planetary engine? What should we do with the lunar engine? This is responsible for the fate of the entire Earth, and it is impossible to consume resources to support Lu Paiqiang. But things are different now. Now the crisis on the Earth has been resolved. Then there's no need to consume resources to build dungeons and planetary engines. These resources can be used to support Lu Paiqiang and make him stronger. Only when Lu Paiqiang becomes stronger will China and even the entire Earth be safer and have a higher status. Now that we have arrived in a new galaxy, who knows if there are any alien civilizations? What if the Earth falls into crisis? But as long as you help Lu Paiqiang, he will become smarter. Even without the help of Mr. Su Bai, Lu Paiqiang can protect the Earth by himself. Even bring more resources to the Earth. Therefore, it is not just China that wants to help Lu Paiqiang. We even want all the countries on the planet to support Lu Paiqiang. What? Disagree? This time the Earth's crisis was solved by the gods invited by Lu Paiqiang. Moreover, it was this god who initiated the funding for Lu Paiqiang. Do other countries dare to disagree? Okay, now that the crisis on Earth has been resolved and a mission has been completed, I will go back. Although the mission content is to solve the lunar crisis. But solving the crisis on the Earth is equivalent to solving the crisis on the Moon. So the task is naturally completed. This time, thank you so much, group leader. Lu Paiqiang looked at Su Bai and said very gratefully. Small question. You are a member of the chat group. As the group leader, I help the group members solve problems when they encounter trouble. Isn't this normal? It's not just you. If other group members need my help if they encounter trouble, I will also help. Anyway, thank you so much, group leader. Well, then I'll go back first. Congratulations, group leader. Congratulations to Mr. Su Bai. Lu Paiqiang, Zhou Zhezhi, and others watched Su Bai leave with great respect. Oh right. Before walking into the Black Passage and going back, Su Bai thought of something and turned to look at Zhou Zhezhi. Then, with a flick of his finger, a trace of energy melted into Zhou Zhezhi's dilemma. Zhou Zhe had no idea what Su Bai had done to him, but he suddenly felt that his old and disabled body suddenly burst out with powerful power. Then, Zhou Zhezhi discovered that his disabled legs, which had been unconscious for a long time, actually regained consciousness. The next moment, under the surprised gazes of Lu Paiqiang and Hao Xiaoxi, Zhou Zhezhi stood up. Teacher. Hao Xiaoxi watched her teacher stand up and couldn't believe her eyes. The next moment, tears burst into my eyes. My teacher had been in poor health due to the solar storm, and his legs were disabled, and he could only use a wheelchair. But now, the other party actually stood up, and his health is not as bad as before. Consider this a little gift from me. Do more good things for China in the future. Su Bai looked at Zhou Zhezhi and said with a smile. It was not difficult for him to restore Zhou Zhezhi's body, and the reason why he did this was out of respect for the old man. After all, the image of this old man is that of a great man with the same surname. This old man is fully worthy of being called Zhou Gong through the ages. Moreover, when the opponent's body becomes stronger, he can do more things for China. He couldn't help the Huaxia in his previous world, so he should help the Huaxia in other worlds. Thank you, Master Subai. Zhou Zhiji was very excited. He bowed and said gratefully to Subai. Seeing this scene, Subai quickly helped him up. No need to thank me. A great man like you deserves respect from everyone, and I am no exception. From now on, do more good things for China. Okay, I'm leaving. This time, Subai really left. Looking at Subai's leaving figure, Zhou Zhiji was a little confused. Why is Master Subai so friendly to China? Is it possible that Master Subai is a gorgeous god from another world? Shaking his head, Zhou Zhiji stopped thinking about these things for the time being, and instead asked people to inform the whole world that the Earth's crisis had been resolved. At this moment, the whole world is completely crazy. Countless people rushed to the street and cheered. During this period of time, people have been panicking because of the crisis on the Earth. In particular, the fight between the Yishan Project sect and the Digital Life sect has caused chaos in the world. If this continues, it will only be a matter of time before greater conflicts break out. But now it's better. Now that the Earth's crisis has been resolved, they can resume their previous lives again, even better than the life before, because they came to their new home, a completely unfamiliar place. Therefore, the first thing each country should do is to explore this new homeland first, without having time to fight. And after this incident, China's international status can be said to be the well-deserved number one. Under China's leadership, the Earth will become much more peaceful than before. Human life will be much happier. Of course, the one they should be grateful for the most is the God who helped them solve the crisis. I propose to build a statue for Master Subai, so that people in the future will not forget that it was Master Subai who saved the Earth. What do you think of this proposal? Zhou Zhiji held a world conference and made this suggestion to representatives of various countries. Of course, representatives from other countries had no objections. On the one hand, it is indeed Mr. Subai who solved the crisis on Earth. He can be said to be the savior of the entire Earth. There is no problem at all in building a statue for him. On the other hand, people abroad are actually more fanatical about gods and beliefs. At this time, Subai's status in their hearts has even surpassed that of God. After all, God did not come to save them when the Earth was in crisis, but Subai really saved them. And the other party is also a real God. Therefore, Subai has become the new belief of countless people. It can be said that foreign people are more active than domestic people in building statues for their beliefs. Liu Paiqiang, who had nothing to do for the time being, also opened a chat group and told others about the resolution of the crisis. Liu Paiqiang, everyone, the crisis on my side has been resolved. Thanks to the group leader for your help. Diya, I knew that as long as Brother Subai takes action, there will be no problem. Diya, Brother Liu Paiqiang, when you saw Brother Subai appear, didn't you feel safe? Liu Paiqiang, yes, when I saw the group leader appear, I felt full of security. They are both people who have been personally helped by Subai. It can be said that Diya and Liu Paiqiang have a lot of resonance when it comes to Subai, no matter how big the crises and difficulties they encounter before this. But as long as they see the moment their group leader appears, then I feel full of security. Their thoughts, there's only one method, and that is as long as the group leader is here, any problem will no longer be a problem. Liu Paiqiang, at Group Subai, Mr. Group Leader, we have made a decision to build a statue of you and pass on your great achievements from generation to generation. Subai, this is not necessary. Subai has no interest in building his own statue. After all, he is not like those big guys in the fantasy world of immortality who need faith to become stronger. So building a statue has no effect on him. Liu Paiqiang, I want it. We can say that we have nothing to repay for your great kindness to us. Liu Paiqiang, let us do such a small thing for you. Subai, well, that's fine, but just do it casually. Don't waste too much time and money. Liu Paiqiang, Master Subai, you don't know. After people all over the world know that they want to build a statue in your honor. Liu Paiqiang, they are quite fanatical. If anyone stops them, they will fight against anyone. So there is no such thing as laboring for the people. Liu Paiqiang, as for the loss of money, Compared with the fact that you solved the Earth crisis and left countless resources for various countries, the money spent on building statues for you is simply not worth it. A piece of cake. Guojing. I think this is a good idea. After I overthrow the Xiao and Song royal families, I will also build a statue for the leader, Xiao Longnu. That's great. I wonder if I can build a statue for Brother Subai. Butterfly Ninja. You guys have reminded me. Anyway, the Demon Slayer squad has nothing to do recently, so it would be better to build a statue for Brother Subai. Diya. It's a pity that I can't build a statue for Brother Subai now. I'll wait until I solve the Galaxy Eye. Diya. I'm sorry. Brother Subai, I can only wait for a while before building a statue for you. Subai, I tell you, I still say the same thing. Don't waste too much money and people. Subai, you don't need to do this at all. Seeing that the group members wanted to build a statue for themselves, Subai was a little confused. Good guy, why do these guys have to build statues for themselves? It's a pity that he didn't rely on faith to practice. Otherwise, wouldn't he be able to take off? Butterfly Ninja. Brother Subai, this is what it should be. You have helped our Demon Slayer squad so much, and it is what we should build a statue for you. Butterfly Ninja. Now you have the highest status, not only in my heart, but also in the hearts of the entire Demon Slayer Corps. Jing. Yes, if it weren't for you, the leader of the group, I wouldn't have made up my mind to overthrow the Zhao Song royal family and save the people of Kaixia from the fire. Jing. So group leader, you are completely worthy of building a statue or even a temple. Subai, it seems that I can't stop you, but you don't have to be too exaggerated. Just be casual. Subai, you must not waste people and money just to build my statue. Butterfly Ninja, don't worry, Brother Subai, we know it well. Chapter 94 Guojing. What music should I play? Exiting the chat group, Subai left her own world and came outside. Ever since he created the world, Subai likes to stay in his own world. After all, this is completely their own territory, and the Gods of Destruction planet is the territory of every Gods of Destruction. This is like renting a house by yourself and owning it completely without a loan. The difference between the two is still very big, and the feelings are completely different. Whis, there's something you need to do. Master Subai, what's the matter? I promised Son Goku and the others before that as long as they can win the competition, I will resurrect their family and friends. Now that they have won, it's time for me to fulfill my promise. Subai said that he is a god who keeps his word. Although Son Goku and the others did not take the initiative to come to him to resurrect others. But he can't pretend that this thing didn't happen. Promises that should be fulfilled must still be fulfilled. So what is Master Subai talking about? Vados on the side asked very curiously. She was new here, so she didn't know what had happened before. Whis told Vados what Subai had promised on Goku and the others, which also made Vados look at Subai with more satisfaction and gentleness. This Mr. Subai is really very good. If it were other Gods of Destruction, if Son Goku and the others didn't say anything, they would just assume that this incident never happened. After all, they are the Gods of Destruction. If they take the initiative to do this kind of thing, wouldn't that mean they lose their value? Even if it was Kampa, it wouldn't be strange to break his promise. How could he be like Mr. Subai, who still wanted to fulfill his promise when Son Goku and the others did not take the initiative to speak? Perhaps it's because Master Subai has just become the Gods of Destruction not long ago. So he doesn't have the airs of being a Gods of Destruction yet. I just don't know if there will be one in the future. I can only hope that Mr. Subai can keep it up. Okay, Master Subai. It was not difficult for Whis to resurrect just a few people. But just when he was about to be resurrected, Subai stopped him. Don't resurrect here. Go to Earth to resurrect. Just in time, they will definitely be very happy to see their friends resurrected, and maybe they will have a party to celebrate the 940th reunion of the group. It's just right. We can still have a meal. Oh. As expected of Master Subai. When I heard that I could eat for free, my eyes lit up at Whis. Although the food on Earth is definitely not as delicious as the food prepared by Mr. Subai himself, but it's also very delicious. He and Mr. Subai used to like to go out for delicious food very much. Now I can go and have a meal again, which is great. Chin Fan? Is the food on Earth delicious? Vados had never tasted delicacies on Earth, so he asked out of curiosity. It's definitely not as delicious as the food prepared by Mr. Su by himself, but the Earth's food is also very delicious. Anyway, it's definitely much more delicious than those in the sixth universe. I see. That's really what I expected, but I think you should not expect too much. After eating the delicacies prepared by Master Su Bai, you may feel that it is nothing more than the delicacies of the Earth. Whis hasn't tasted Su Bai's cooking yet, so he can enjoy the food of the Earth. But Vados has already eaten it in the previous food competition, so when you taste the food of the Earth, you will feel that it is nothing more than this. How about we let Mr. Su Bai make some delicious food? Vados suggested. This is a good idea. Whis' eyes lit up when he heard his sister's suggestion. He happened to have never tasted the delicacies prepared by Mr. Su Bai. It would be great if he had this opportunity to try it. I just don't know if Su Baiyin will agree. Whis blinked his big bright eyes and looked at Su Bai and said expectantly. Seeing Whis like this, Su Bai was also happy. Whis usually looks aloof, but when facing delicious food, his expressions are very rich. I can do it this time, but whether I do it in the future depends entirely on my mood. I'm not your chef. Su Bai himself is not a foodie, so he can resist the delicious food he makes. But Whis and Vados are both foodies. If they often have to make delicious food by themselves in the future, he won't be able to stand it. Just make the food this time, Bai King. Just K. You can let me enjoy your cooking skills. Seeing that Su Bai agreed, Whis was also very excited. Although he is an angel, he cannot force the gods of destruction to do something he does not want to do. Therefore, if Su Bai disagrees, there is nothing he can do. He can only look at each other with pitiful eyes. But fortunately, the people in the daytime agreed. It seems that Mr. Su Bai still dotes on himself very much. Later, Su Bai called Trunks and others over and told them to go to Earth. Although I don't know why Su Bai took them back to Earth, but since it was Lord Su Bai's wish, they naturally agreed. After using instant transmission to come to Earth, Su Bai looked at Son Goku and others and said, I promised you before that as long as you can win the competition, I will resurrect your friends and family. Now it's time for me to fulfill my promise. After hearing Su Bai's words, Trunks and others knew why Su Bai took them back to Earth. It turns out that they want to resurrect their friends and partners. This made Son Goku and Son Gohan very happy. Their good friend, Uncle Piccolo, mother and wife, are about to be resurrected. Whis. Yes, Master Su Bai. Whis clicked the staff in his hand, and the next moment, Krillin, Piccolo, Tien Shinhan, Yamcha, Dumpling, Chi-Chi, and others appeared in front of Son Goku and others. Klin, Unka e Piccolo. Seeing Klin, Piccolo, and others, Son Goku and Son Gohan were very excited and quickly ran to them and hugged them. Even Bulma was very excited. After all, these are her old friends. At this time, Klin and others were very confused and didn't know what was happening. After Son Gohan's narration, they finally understood. It turns out they were resurrected. Thank you, Master Su Bai. Although they don't know Su Bai yet, it doesn't stop them from expressing their gratitude to Su Bai. After all, it was the other party who resurrected them. They have been dead for so long, and they never thought that they could be resurrected. Goku, where are the androids? Have the androids been defeated? Yes, the androids have been defeated by Trunks. Trunks, Klin, Piccolo, and others looked at Trunks. When they died, Trunks was just a baby, so they knew Bulma and Vegeta had such a son, but they didn't know what Trunks looked like. But this is not a problem, because among the people present, except for the gods of destruction, Su Bai and the two attendants beside him, there was only one person they didn't know. So obviously, this person is Trunks. After so many years, that little baby has grown up. Moreover, he actually defeated the artificial man. It's amazing. Being stared at by so many elders, Trunks scratched his head in embarrassment. And not only that, he's now Supreme Kai. Supreme Kai? What is that? Because they died young. Neither Krillin nor Piccolo knew what Supreme Kai was. They only know KO and Demi. Son Gohan explained what Supreme Kai is and also explained the identity of Su Bai. This also made Klin and others feel very emotional. The world is changing too fast. When they died, the androids could rule the roost. But now, even Supreme Kai, gods of destruction are out, especially the gods of destruction, an invincible existence in the universe. They can actually come into contact with existences of this level. The friends were resurrected. Son Goku and others were very happy, and Bulma proposed to hold a party to celebrate. She always liked parties, but after Son Goku and the others died, she and Trunks were left to depend on each other, so she never held parties again. Now, we can finally party again after a long absence. As for the food at the party, it was Subai who showed off his cooking skills. Seeing the happy scene of Z Warriors, Imbai was also very emotional. When he used to watch anime, he liked to see the daily scenes of Z Warriors gathering together happily. And now, he is also involved. This feels really good, because old friends are resurrected. Subai also gave Son Goku and the others a few days off to catch up on old times. Even Broly was left on Earth by him. It is also good for him to have more contact with people. After reminiscing about old times for 2 days, Son Goku and others devoted themselves to practicing again. Condor World. It has been some time since Guijing called his men from all over the country to gather. Everyone went to Guijing's location. They were also very curious and didn't know why Guijing wanted to gather them. Could it be that we were going to start a fight with the imperial court? As Guijing's subordinates, they naturally know what Guijing's goal is. Just to overthrow the Zhao and Song royal family. It was all because of Guijing's help that they were able to get rid of the poor days before. So whatever Guijing wants to do, they will naturally follow him. Of course, there are also some people who do not really follow Guijing, but just want to benefit from Guijing. And these people still don't know what is waiting for them. Jinger, I got the news that everyone will gather here soon. What on earth did you gather everyone for? Hong Qigong looked at his apprentice and asked curiously. Guijing said before that he had to do one more thing before taking action against the imperial court, which was also the reason why everyone was gathered together. So he was very curious as to why Guijing had gathered so many people together. What exactly does Guijing want to do? Master, you will know soon. It's just that what happened next, you may think is a bit cruel, but this is what I have to do. Guijing kept it secret and did not tell his master. Anyway, his master will know it soon. This would if he told his master in advance, but his master suddenly said it out loud, and those people with evil intentions just ran away. It's not that he doesn't trust his master, but it's not good if something slips through the net. Cancers are something that should be completely eliminated. Would I feel a little cruel? Hong Qigong had some vague guesses about what Guijing was going to do. If it was true as he guessed, then there would probably be a river of blood today. If it were before, he might have stopped it. But now, his apprentice is no longer the silly one at the beginning. He has his own plans, and even if he is his master, he cannot influence the other person's thoughts. Seeing more and more people arriving, Guijing felt a little emotional. He didn't know how many people would survive this time. Of course, there is one important thing that he has not yet thought about. So he wanted to seek other people's opinions. Guijing, everyone, my men are almost here now, but I suddenly thought of a question. Guijing, that's what music I should play for them. God-level piano skills can allow people to achieve very superb piano skills. But people will not learn all the songs directly, especially the songs they have not heard. It's just that when you get a piece of music and read it once, you can play it immediately. As for Guijing, he had never heard anyone else play before. So naturally, I can't play any music. Of course, with God-level piano skills in hand, it doesn't matter even if you play randomly. But Guijing always felt that this was a bit unserious and that he needed to play a piece of music. Xinnan, you have asked the right person about this. I have a lot of piano scores here. I will send them to you. You can choose to play as you like. Duan Mayan, but isn't your piano score a piano score? Brother Guijing lived in ancient times and did not have a piano. Isn't it useless if you send him the piano score? Xinnan, don't you understand this? After mastering the God-level piano skills, you can easily convert any music score into the music score of the corresponding instrument. Xinnan, Brother Guijing also mastered divine piano skills, so he had no problem turning the piano scores into the music scores of his time. Xinnan, even instruments like the eru and pipa can be played. Guijing, then I'll trouble you. Xinnan, no trouble. These are the music scores I practiced before. Xinnan sent all his music scores to Guijing. He used to practice these music scores several times a day. But after mastering the God-level piano skill, I never practiced it again, because it has no meaning anymore. Guojing looked at the music score sent to him by Xinnan and seemed a little confused, not knowing which music score to choose. Su Bai, since you live in ancient times, I have ancient music scores that I can recommend to you. At this time, Su Bai spoke. Chapter Devisit Beit Sui's recommendation. Guojing, watch me play the song Dong Feng Pu on the pipa. Guojing, master, what kind of song is it? Seeing that Su Bai also recommended songs, Guojing was immediately excited. After all, the music recommended by the group leader must be very good. Su Bai, I have 2 ancient-style songs here. Su Bai sent 2 ancient songs to Guojing, and they are 2 famous songs from his previous life. A song called Dong Feng Break, a song called Blue and White Porcelain. These 2 ancient-style songs can be called ancient-style masterpieces. Since Guojing lived in ancient times, ancient songs are very suitable for him. Xinnan, these 2 pieces of music are indeed more suitable for Brother Guojing than mine. Seeing Su Bai's music, Xinnan knew that the music he sent was meaningless. It's not because his music is bad. In fact, if we really want to talk about music, then the music he sent is no worse than the music sent by the group leader. Even better. After all, the songs he practiced were composed by world-famous musicians. The key is that the group leader's music is more suitable for Guojing. The group leader is right. Since Guojing lives in ancient times, ancient music is the most suitable for him. Although his music is excellent, it is not ancient style, so it's not suitable for Guojing. The 2 songs by the group leader are both very ancient, which is very suitable. So, the better something is, the better it is not. The key is whether it fits or not. If something is inappropriate, no matter how good it is, it will be meaningless. If it's appropriate, then there's no problem even if it's a little bit close. What's more, these 2 ancient songs by the group leader are also very good. Guojing, master group leader, what are the names of these 2 pieces of music? After Guojing took a look at the song Su Bai sent him, he was very satisfied with both songs. So he was very confused and didn't know which one to choose. So he wanted to choose by name. Whichever name is more in line with his heart. Choose which song. Su Bai, one song is called Dong Feng Break, and the first song is called King Wastai. Su Bai, actually, I suggest you choose Dong Feng Pa, because you can play this song on pipa. In Su Bai's opinion, Dong Feng Pa is more suitable for Guojing. There's no particular reason. It's just that a lyric from Dong Feng Pali fits the bill very well. Who is playing the song Dong Feng Pa on the pipa? Exactly. If Guojing plays the pipa, doesn't it correspond to the lyrics? But because Su Bai only posted the music, not the lyrics. So Guojing didn't know this. Guojing, the leader of the group, has the same idea as me. I also plan to choose Dong Feng. After knowing the names of the 2 songs, I also made a decision. His idea is the same as that of the group leader, which is to choose Dong Feng Pa. Not because this is what the group leader suggested. It's because he likes the name of the song very much. The East Wind Breaks. He has everything ready now. All he needs is the east wind. As long as the cancers under his command are eliminated, then we can officially start a war with the Zhao Song royal family. The word break can also mean that he breaks the darkness and brings hope and light to the people of the world. As for the choice of instrument, he chose to follow the group leader's advice and use the pipa. If it were before, he would definitely not be able to play the pipa. But after mastering the God-level piano skills, he can play any instrument. After deciding on the music and instruments to play, Guojing first asked someone to prepare a pipa and then waited for everyone to arrive. Jinger, what are you going to do with the pipa? Are you planning to play the pipa for everyone? Originally, Hong Qigong thought that he had guessed what some of his apprentices wanted to do. He even expected that there would be a river of blood flowing next. But he couldn't understand Guojing's move when he asked someone to prepare the pipa. What does this pipa have to do with what he said before? Is it possible that after playing the pipa for others, it can cause a river of blood? How is this possible? Or does his apprentice want to play the pipa to boost his morale before going to war with the imperial court? This is possible, but what does this have to do with the cruelty he mentioned? Could it be that it was because he played the pipa so badly? In fact, when he said cruel, he meant that his playing the pipa was too unpleasant and was a kind of cruel torture to their ears. This is what Hong Qigong has in mind right now. There was no way. He really couldn't think of any other possibility. Only this possibility was slightly possible. Master, you will know later. Guijing still failed. Hong Qigong didn't ask any more questions. Anyway, everyone would be here soon, and he would soon know what his apprentice wanted to do. Time passed by minute, and finally everyone arrived. They were densely packed with people, not just people from the beggar clan, but also many new people who had joined Guijing's staff. There were people from Tianhu to ordinary people. Fortunately, Guijing and Hong Qigong found a very open place. Otherwise, there wouldn't be room for so many people. See Alliance Leader Gua. See Deputy Alliance Leader Hong. Everyone saluted Guijing and Hong Qigong, and many people looked at Guijing with eyes full of excitement and gratitude. Their previous life was worse than death, and Guijing saved them. It can be said that Guijing is their benefactor, although they didn't know what Guijing wanted to do by calling them together. But no matter what they do, they will never frown. As for why these people call Guijing the leader of the alliance and Hong Qigong the deputy leader, it is actually very simple. It's not because Guijing is the leader of the Wulin League, but because Guijing is now the leader of the White League. The so-called White League was founded by Guijing by gathering the beggar gang, newly joined Jianghu people, and ordinary people. As for why it was called such a name, it was because Guijing used his name as the name of the new organization after getting Su Bai's consent. The whiteness of Bai Meng is the whiteness of Su Bai. This also expresses Guijing's respect and admiration for Su Bai. It can be said that Guijing's current status is higher than that of the leader of the martial arts alliance. Of course, there is no such thing as a martial arts leader in the world of condor shooting. Everyone, I believe you're all very curious as to why I have to summon all of you. You may still be guessing whether I am going to take action against the Imperial Court. Now I can tell you yes. I do plan to take action against the Imperial Court. After hearing Guijing's words, everyone below was very excited. They have been unhappy with the current world for a long time, because many of them are ants in today's world. If it hadn't been for the appearance of Leader Guijing and Gua, they didn't know when they would have died. It is precisely because of this that after learning that Guijing, leader of the Gua Alliance, planned to overthrow the current Xiao and Song royal family, they will choose to follow each other, because they also want to change the world today. Nowadays, there are internal and external troubles. The court is decaying, and the world is surrounded by tigers and wolves looking at you. You know, the shame of Jinkong is not even 100 years away from now. Their hatred of the Xiao and Song royal families for their incompetence and stupidity, and their hatred of the Jin kingdom, has not disappeared yet. Now, Alliance Leader Gua is finally going to take action against the Xiao Song royal family. This incompetent and corrupt royal family should have been overthrown long ago, but before they could finish their excitement, Guijing's next words made them laugh. But before that, I have one more thing to do. And this matter is the main reason why I summoned you all here. One more thing? I wonder if Alliance Leader Gua has anything else to do. I don't know. How can we know what Alliance Leader Gua wants to do? Anyway, we will know soon. So let's not rush yet. That's right. Let's not be impatient and let the leader continue. The people below looked at Guijing quietly, waiting for him to tell them what he was going to do. During this period, our power has developed rapidly, and many people have joined us. My master and I also welcome everyone to join us. And with my help, your strength has been greatly improved. Even if you were ordinary people before, you have become powerful. That's right. All this is due to you, Alliance Leader Gua. Thank you, Alliance Leader Gua. Thank you, Leader Gua. The gratitude of the people below resounded through the sky. They were very grateful to Guijing for the changes he had brought to them. It not only saves them from fire and water, but also makes them stronger so that they will no longer be bullied and have the ability to protect themselves. Not only for self-protection, even those who used to be ordinary people are now very confident in their own strength. 10 against dozens of well-trained soldiers is not a problem. Therefore, with only such a small number of people, they were still confident that they could follow Guijing to overthrow the royal family. Although there are quite a few of them, compared with the royal family, they are still far behind. You must know that no matter how decadent and mediocre the current royal family is, they still have at least hundreds of thousands of soldiers and horses in the world. And all of them added up to only tens of thousands of people. Tens of thousands of people versus hundreds of thousands of people would have been impossible before. But now, they have the strength. At this time, the pipa that Guo Jing sent to prepare was also brought up and held in Guo Jing's hand. And this scene also made others very curious. What does Leader Guo want to do with the pipa? Could it be that you want to play a song for us to boost our morale so that we can better fight against the imperial court? Indeed, the morale before Tianjin is also very important. Although we are very confident in ourselves, if our morale can be improved, it will become easier to overthrow the court. Like Hong Qigong, these people also thought that Guo Jing wanted to play a piece of music for them on the pipa to boost their morale. Therefore, they all pricked up their ears and prepared to listen to Guo Jing's playing for a while. After I play it later, you will see some bloody and cruel scenes. But don't panic, because this is very normal. And Guo Jing's words made everyone who was waiting to listen to his performance dumbfounded, because they discovered that they couldn't understand what Alliance Leader was said. What does it mean that after playing it later, they will see a bloody and cruel scene? So what happens later? Is it possible that Leader Guo's playing can still kill people? Seeing the expressions of the people below becoming panicked, Guo Jing smiled slightly and continued to speak. You don't need to be too nervous. I won't hide it from you. In fact, I will gather you together to eliminate some cancers among you. Cancer? What does cancer mean? Cancer is a modern word, and people in ancient times would naturally not know what it meant. I said before, your life has gotten better now, and your strength has become stronger with my help. But I found that some of you, after your life got better and your strength became stronger, you became the people you hated most before. They have also become those who oppress the people for the sake of. And my next playing will make these people pay the price. So, if you've never done bad things, you don't need to be nervous. Not only will you not have any problems after listening to my performance, but your heart will even become more transparent and clear. But if you have a ghost in your heart and have done a lot of bad things after listening to my performance, you will commit suicide because of the guilt in your heart. When Guo Jing said this, those who had no worries in their hearts breathed a sigh of relief. They had never done anything bad, so after listening to Alliance Leader Guo's performance, not only were they fine, but it was also good for them. But it's different for those who have ghosts in their hearts. Their expressions changed drastically, and they even wanted to run away. But it's too late. Next, I would like to invite you to listen to a song, Dongfeng Poba, played by me. Seeing some people trying to escape, Guo Jing naturally wouldn't let them succeed. He played the pipa in his hand, just as the lyrics of Dongfeng Pa said. Use the pipa to play a song called Dongfeng Pa. When the sound of the pipa sounded, everyone present heard the tune of Dongfeng Pa. For people who have no evil in their hearts become calm after listening to the music, and their heads also feel a cool feeling. There were many things that I had not looked away from before, but now I suddenly looked away from them. If there were any obstacles that were difficult to overcome in my heart, I would suddenly overcome them in one fell swoop. Some things that I couldn't let go of were let go at once. This also let them know what Guo Jing's words meant before. Sure enough, it is indeed good for people like them who have no evil in their hearts. But it's different for those who have evil hearts. When they heard the music, they recalled the evil they had done before and thought that they had hated this kind of person the most. And I was also oppressed and bullied by such people. But with the help of Alliance Leader Guo, their lives have become better, their strength has become stronger, and their mentality has changed. Become the kind of person they hate the most. Their subordinates also have many more people like them before who were bullied and oppressed. Why? Why did they become like this? 7. Chapter 96. Attack the court in 3 days. Xiao Longnu enters Xiangyang City. Why? Why would I do such a thing? Why would I become the person I hate the most? Father, mother, I'm sorry for you. You were obviously oppressed and died by those evil people. But now I have become such an evil person and let many people become you. I really deserve to die. I'm sorry for those people who were oppressed and bullied by me. I'm guilty and I deserve to die. When I experienced the wonderful life and strong strength, my mentality changed and I became the person I hate the most. I'm simply unforgivable. No, I want to atone. I want to atone. Many evildoers, under the effect of divine piano skills, had their souls cleansed and purified, and suddenly woke up feeling extremely guilty in their hearts. Therefore, they all did the same thing, which was to atone for their sins. Use their own lives to atone for their sins. Those who had weapons used their weapons, and those that didn't have weapons slapped themselves on the head. Soon, in the astonished eyes of others, many people committed suicide and fell down one by one. These people are all people who have done a lot of evil, and they are all very evil. There are also people who feel very guilty, but do not choose to commit suicide, but plan to contribute their strength to the people of this world in the future. Like Prime Minister Zhuge in the Three Kingdoms era, he dedicated his life to death. These are the kind of people who have done evil, but nothing serious, and their crimes do not lead to death. It can be said that the effect of God-level piano skills serves as a judgment. No one with any problems gets the benefits. People who have problems, but not serious ones, will change their ways because of guilt and will not do evil again. People who have problems in 927, and they are big problems, will directly choose to end themselves. These are all people who have a way to die, and it is not a pity to die. You can't just bypass them just because their hearts have been purified and they have realized their past mistakes. If you do something wrong, you will always have to pay the price. I can only hope that they can be good people in their next life. Watching a person fall in front of you because of self-commitment, there are even people among them who are your friends. Those who were still alive were stunned. Is this the bloody and cruel thing that Alliance Leader was said? These people chose to commit suicide just because they listened to Alliance Leader was playing, and according to what Leader was said, those who would choose to commit suicide after listening to his performance are those who have done great evil. Judging from what these people said before committing suicide, they have become the people they hate the most. In other words, they changed from people who were bullied and oppressed to people who bully and oppress others. How did that happen? They have undergone such a big change. Soon, the song Dongfeng Po was played, and many people committed suicide. But what makes Guijing happy is that more people survived. People who commit suicide can only do 1,000 jobs at most. Originally, his psychological expectation was about 30%. Unexpectedly, it was only 10%, which was already much better than his psychological expectation. Of course, some of the remaining people have done evil, but it is not a great evil, and the sin will not lead to death. And after listening to his performance, they will change their ways and never do evil again. Jinger, is this your real purpose? Han Qigong looked at the dead people below and said to Guijing in great surprise. In fact, he had guessed before that Guijing would do something to some people, but he didn't expect that it would move in this way. Play a tune and let people with big problems kill themselves. So, is this what Guijing said about eliminating cancer? Yes, master, this is another magical skill I bought in the chat group, called God-level Qin. The effect of this trick is that it can wash people's hearts, purify people's souls, and allow those who have done evil to reform. If you haven't done any serious evil, you will be like those who are very self-blame and ashamed. Although they blame themselves and are ashamed, they will not commit suicide. Those who commit suicide have committed great evil and are unforgivable sinners. They all have the means to die, although they can change their ways after listening to my performance. They can't just erase what they did before. They always have to pay for what they did before. Han Qigong opened his mouth and wanted to say something, but in the end he didn't say anything, because what my apprentice said was right. Those who commit suicide are unpardonable sinners and do not deserve sympathy. Just because they will change their ways, we can't just erase the things they did before. If this is true, wouldn't those people who were persecuted by them be so pitiful? At present, the people of the world are living a better life. It is impossible to have someone under his command who has persecuted the common people. Master, as long as I am here, it is not difficult to cultivate a strong person. But they can't do evil and become the people they hated most just because they have some strength. Otherwise, What's the difference between us and the current Xiao and Song royal families? Seeing his master's hesitant expression, Guijing spoke. You're right, I didn't think too much. Hong Qigong never thought that one day he would be lectured by his apprentice. However, what my apprentice said is correct. They can't be the person they hate the most. They want to overthrow the Xiao and Song royal families and bring a peaceful and happy life to the people of the world. What if they became like the Xiao and Song royal family, colluding with those who persecuted the people and protecting each other? So what is the significance of what they are doing now? They will only become the next Xiao and Song royal family. Now all the cancer has been eliminated. Next, we can start fighting with the Xiao and Song royal family. Now, the east wind has blown, and I don't know anything anymore. So it's time to overthrow the Xiao and Song royal families. The time will be set in 3 days. Seeing their partners die in front of them and knowing their true nature, I think those who are still alive now feel uncomfortable. Give them 3 days to adjust their mentality and state. Guojing set a time to officially take action against the Xiao and Song royal family. Just 3 days later, it could have been done right away. But after seeing such a bloody scene and seeing his original friend commit suicide in front of him, he also knew the other person's true nature. It was also a big blow to those who survived. Just give them 3 days to adjust their mentality and state. 3 days should be enough for them to adjust and return to their peak condition. Everyone, in 3 days it will be time for us to officially take action against the imperial court. You just need to adjust your state and mentality to the peak state in these 3 days, and don't let today's events affect you. After saying these words, Guojing dismissed the remaining people. How to adjust is up to them. Of course, if it doesn't work, he has a way. Just play them one more song. After the mind is cleansed again, the things that cannot be seen can be seen. However, he still hopes that these people can come out on their own and adjust their mentality. We can't encounter similar things again in the future, so we have to ask him to play a song every time. He has helped them enough, but sometimes they have to rely on themselves. After taking care of his men's matters, Guojing waited for his arrival in 3 days. He opened the chat group and told others about the incident. Guojing, everyone, I have finished handling my affairs. Garp, oh, you have eliminated those cancers in your hands. Guojing, well, I have used the music given by the group leader and played on the pipas suggested by the group leader, which has eliminated the cancer in my hands. Guojing, what makes me happy is that the number of cancers is not very large, accounting for only 10% of all people. Guojing, originally, my psychological expectation was 30%, but I didn't expect it to be a surprise. Lu Paiqiang, the number of 10% is indeed not much. You must know that when people from the digital life sect were flooding in the past, their number accounted for more than 10% of the total number of human beings. Of course, the base numbers themselves are incomparable. There are definitely more people on the entire planet than there are under Guojing, but in any case, only 10% of the number of cancers is not too much. At least the remaining 90% still kept their true intentions. Guojing. In fact, more than 10% of people have done evil, but only 10% of people have committed suicide. They are also unforgivable people. Guojing. The fact that other people who have done evil have not committed suicide shows that they are not guilty enough to die. Butterfly Ninja. Indeed, this is good, and not everyone who has done evil deserves to die. 0. Butterfly Ninja. It's like not all ghosts are evil ghosts. Xiao Longnu. Brother Guojing, since you have eliminated the cancer in your hands, are you going to take action against the court over there? Guojing, yes. I've already told my men that we will attack the imperial court in 3 days. Xiao Longnu, that's great. Then the people over there can get rid of this miserable life right away. Xiao Longnu, I wonder when the people here will be able to live like this. During this period of traveling around the world, Xiao Longnu gained a deeper understanding of her era. As a person in the martial arts world, if you have martial arts skills, your life will not be miserable. But for ordinary people, life is not so beautiful. It can be said that bullying and oppression happen every day. With her own strength, she simply cannot solve all the problems. Even she herself was in trouble, entangled by those people in the world of her beauty. If it hadn't been for Brother Guijing giving her an idea, she wouldn't have known what to do. It is really difficult to change an era by one person. Guijing, Xiao Longnu, have you arrived at Xiangyang City? When you arrive at Xiangyang City and find me over there, you can ask him to help you. Xiao Longnu, well, I'm almost at Xiangyang City. I'll be there before you, Brother Guijing. Take action against the court. Subai, that's just right. Wait until Xiao Longnu arrives in Xiangyang City and meets Guijing over there. Subai, then you can ask Guijing and the group to go over and meet him in the future. You can also ask him to help Xiao Longnu. Subai, furthermore, with the current strength and status of Guijing on her side, his reputation among the people in the world is very high. Hi, Xiao Longnu can change the times on her side with his help. Guijing, the group leader is right. Xiao Longnu, when did you see me over there? If he doesn't believe what you said or doesn't want to help you, then tell me a sound. Guijing, I will go to your world and let me discuss it with my future self. Xiao Longnu, okay, I understand. With Guijing's guarantee, Xiao Longnu felt much more at ease. Otherwise, if Guijing on her side doesn't believe her or doesn't want to help her, then she really didn't know what to do. Xiangyang City is located on the border of the Song dynasty and borders Mongolia. Because it is a border, the people living here can be said to be very difficult and are often invaded by Mongolia. However, this situation changed a lot after the arrival of Guijing and Huangrong. They garrisoned Xiangyang City to resist the Mongolian cavalry. Therefore, their status among the people of Xiangyang City can be said to be very high. Coupled with the reputation left over from their previous adventures in the world, their status in the world is also quite high at 2.9. It can be said that if they were not stationed in Xiangyang City, their life would be very comfortable. However, for the sake of the country and the people, they're willing to protect Xiangyang City for the rest of their lives. On this day, a beautiful figure appeared outside Yanqing. She was dressed in white and had a veil covering her face. But her temperament and graceful figure still attracted a lot of attention. But fortunately, this is Xiangyang City and Guijing is stationed there, so no one will come forward to look for trouble. Especially when they heard that Xiao Longnu asked where Guijing lived, they didn't have any inappropriate thoughts. This fairy-like girl actually knows Guijing and Guidashia. Under the guidance of a kind person, Xiao Longnu came to Mansion, but was stopped by the guard. Please tell me, I'm here to see Guijing Hirogwa. During this period of traveling around the world, Xiao Longnu also learned a lot. At least before seeing Guijing on her side, she called him Guijing, Guidashia, the same as everyone else. It would be bad if someone misunderstood him as someone who wanted to have a relationship if he called her so affectionate from the beginning. After learning the purpose of Xiao Longnu's visit, the guard did not dare to neglect and hurriedly went in to report. If it were another person, they would probably still be suspicious. After all, there are many people who want to get to know Guijing and Guidashia. However, Xiao Longnu's temperament and figure are top-notch, and she is not an ordinary person at first glance. So it is really possible that the other party knows Da Xiaogua. Regardless of whether the other party knew him or not, they did not dare to neglect him. Chapter 97 Xiao Longnu, Brother Guijing. Huangrong, Brother Guijing, a girl wearing a veil, came to me. In the hall, Guijing looked confused as he listened to the guard's report. Since the other party is a girl, she must be young. However, he doesn't know any young girls. The girls he knew have now become middle-aged aunts. At this time, Guijing seemed to have felt the sharp look from Huangrong beside him. However, since this girl came to the door, she didn't look like an ordinary person. It would be better not to see each other. What if the other party is the daughter of an old friend, a disciple, or something like that? Invite that girl to come in, Guijing said to the guard. Then after the guard left, he looked to Huangrong, whose expression was obviously a little off. Ronger, I really don't know any girls, and you know that the girls I know are no longer girls now. Brother Jing, what do you mean? Are you saying I'm old? Huangrong's expression became even more unkind. No, I didn't mean that. I mean, maybe that girl is the daughter of an old friend or a disciple. That's true. Hearing this sentence, Huangrong also nodded in agreement. In fact, she wasn't really angry or jealous. She just felt a little weird when she learned that a young girl came to see Brother Jing. She was very clear about Brother Jing's character and would never do anything to disgrace herself. And later she also figured out that the girl might be the daughter of someone they knew before, a disciple or something like that. After all, when they were traveling in the world, they met a lot of people. Moreover, they were also influential figures back then. So she was also very curious about who this girl who came to see Brother Jing was. Soon, Xiao Longnu walked in and saw Gui Jing at first sight. She had already met Gui Jing at previous gatherings, but it was Gui Jing when he was young. And now Gui Jing is already middle-aged Gui Jing. It's just that his appearance hasn't changed much since he was 20. He just became more mature and steady. Moreover, standing next to the other party is a beautiful middle-aged woman who still has charm. Even if she is middle-aged, she can still feel the charm of the other party. Obviously, the other party was a beautiful woman when she was young. Xiao Longnu didn't know Huang Rong, but she guessed that she was the wife of Gui Jing's brother. This girl, I don't know who you are. Why did you come to me? Gui Jing looked at Xiao Longnu and said in confusion. Because he was wearing a veil, he couldn't see clearly the other person's appearance and couldn't tell whose daughter the other person was by his appearance. So I had to ask directly, Brother Gui Jing, I am Xiao Longnu, and I came here specifically to help you. Hearing Gui Jing's question, Xiao Longnu said subconsciously. Because it was subconscious, she directly said what she called Gui Jing in the group. She had no choice but to call everyone in the group older than her brother and sister. She has always been called Brother Gui Jing in the group and has become accustomed to it. Now I shouted it out subconsciously. It doesn't matter if she shouts it out. At least Longnu hasn't realized the seriousness of the problem yet. But Gui Jing was already sweating profusely and looked confused. This girl calls him Brother Gui Jing? Who is the other party? Why doesn't he remember that he has such a sister? And the other party is still so young, so it's even more impossible. His father and mother have been dead for decades. As for the girl in front of me, even though she was wearing a veil, her face could not be seen clearly. But I don't think he is more than 20 years old. How could he have such a young sister? Of course, the reason for sweating is even simpler, because he could already feel Huang Rong's extremely sharp eyes on the side. Brother Gui Jing? Brother Jing, I don't know who this girl is, and what does it have to do with you? Huang Rong said with a smile, not even looking angry at all. But as an old married woman, how could Gui Jing not know that Huang Rong looked even more terrifying? When he was young, once Huang Rong showed this expression, he would suffer. But Huang Rong hasn't shown such an expression for a long time, and it hasn't appeared since her daughter was born. Unexpectedly, he could see Huang Rong with such an expression again, and he really missed it. But in this case, it would be really bad. At this time, Huang Rong was indeed a little angry and jealous. She didn't expect that even if she was jealous when she was young, this middle-aged man who is already dozens of years old would still be jealous. You must know that those who call them brother are not necessarily brother and sister. But there are other intimate relationships. For example, doesn't she always call him Brother Jing? Now a young girl suddenly appears and calls Brother Jing Brother Gui Jing. Of course, she is overthinking it. Although Brother Jing is a bit older now, his charm has not diminished at all, and he is even more attractive than when he was young. Charming some little girls, or something like that, is not a problem at all. I don't know this girl at all. Gui Jing quickly explained. You can tell at a glance that this girl is under 20. How could I possibly know such a young girl? I've been staying in Xiangyang City for these years, and have never been alone. Indeed, Huang Rong also reacted after hearing Gui Jing's words. She was just angry and jealous, so she didn't think too much. But after hearing what Brother Jing said, she also reacted. Indeed, my brother Jing should not know such a young girl, and he does not have this opportunity. They have been stationed in Xiangyang City for a long time. Even before this girl was born, they had already started stationed in Xiangyang City. Even if Brother Jing goes out, he will follow him. Even if he doesn't follow, others will follow him, and he never goes out alone. Could it be that someone else deceived her together with Brother Jing? Impossible. Brother Jing is not this kind of person. And those people who go out with Brother Jing are not this kind of people. So it stands to reason that Gao Gao should not know such a young girl. And judging from the other person's appearance, It seems that he really has a good relationship with Brother Jing. It's not the kind of situation where you only met Brother Jing once on the street, and then you were fascinated by Brother Jing. From the look of the other party, it was obvious that he and Brother Jing knew each other and had a good relationship. So the question is, who is the other person? How did she get to know Brother Jing when it was impossible for him to know her? I was a little carried away by anger and jealousy before. Now that she has figured out, Huang Rong has calmed down. Seeing Huang Rong calm down, Guo Jing also breathed a sigh of relief. If Rangier really made trouble, he really didn't know what to do. Although the other party has not had any trouble for a long time, you must know that when he was young, the other party had an eccentric temperament. As she grows older, Ronger becomes more stable and mature. But that doesn't mean her original temperament has disappeared. If this happened, he really didn't know how to deal with it. It would be even more embarrassing if he called his father-in-law over. It's going to calm down now. Rangier probably also figured out that it was impossible for him to know such a young girl. But who is the other party? Why do you call him Brother Guo Jing? From this title, we can know that the other party is not the daughter of an old friend or a disciple. And she's not the kind of girl who is obsessed with herself. The other party does know him. But why didn't he have this impression? Although the other person is wearing a veil, judging from the other person's temperament, he does not recognize the other person and has not even seen the other person. Seeing the very confused looks of Guo Jing and Huang Rong, Xiao Longnu also came to her senses. She didn't feel anything was wrong when she yelled out before, because she was used to it. It was only now that she saw the confused expression on the other side that she remembered. The Brother Guo Jing in front of me is not the Brother Guo Jing in the group. So she knows the other person, but the other person doesn't know her. I'm sorry, Brother Guo Jing. I even forgot that you are not the Brother Guo Jing I know. No, it should be said that you are the same person, but not the same person. Xiao Longnu was a little confused and didn't know how to explain it. As for Guo Jing and Huang Rong, it was even more chaotic. What does it mean that he is not the Guo Jing brother she knows? What does it mean to be the same person and not the same person? What is this girl in front of me talking about? Xiao Longnu herself didn't know what she was talking about and was a little anxious, so she quickly asked other group members for advice. Xiao Longnu, I have arrived in Xiangyang City now, and I have met my brother Guo Jing here. Xiao Longnu, but they were confused by my words, and I didn't know what I was talking about or how to experience it. Garp, so little dragon girl, what did you say? Xiao Longnu, I don't remember it myself. I was a little confused when I said it just now, and I was a little confused after I said it. Subai, it should be that Guo Jing on your side felt strange when he saw how you knew him. So you wanted to explain it, but you didn't explain it clearly. Xiao Longnu, yes. That's what Brother Subai said. Subai, it's very simple. You just need to tell him about the chat group, right? Subai, just tell him that you knew him in another world when he was young. Xiao Longnu, yes. How come I forgot about this? Thank you, Brother Subai, for your advice. Subai, because your mind was a little confused just now, so you didn't think of it for a moment. When people are in chaos, they will indeed not think of many things. This is normal. Just calm down. Guo Jing, wait a minute, Xiao Longnu. Did you just talk about them? Apart from me over there, is there anyone else? Xiao Longnu, yes, there's another one who should be Brother Guo Jing's wife. Guo Jing, my wife? I have such a thing as a wife over there. Subai, this is normal. You're a middle-aged man over there, Xiao Longnu. Isn't it normal to have a wife? For modern people, it is not strange for people to remain unmarried in middle age. But for ancient people, marriage was a very important thing, even getting married at a very young age. A middle-aged person does not have a wife or husband, or he is a beggar, people at the bottom, or be widowed. Guo Jing, yes, that's right. Guo Jing patted his 993 head, and he was also confused. He on Xiao Longnu's side is already middle-aged, so how could he not get married? If he hadn't joined the chat group, he would have gotten married soon. But now, he has no plans to get married for the time being. His idea was to overthrow the Zhao and Song royal families first, destroy the Jin kingdom, and annex Mongolia and Xixia to complete the unification. Then let the people of the world live a peaceful life. Then, he can earn points and become stronger. As for when he will get married, he doesn't know yet. Anyway, it won't be now. Su Bai, Xiao Longnu. When the time comes, you can also ask Guijing from the group to come over. The two Guijings will meet. This scene should be quite interesting. Guijing. Indeed, I really want to see what I will look like in the future. Guijing. What will my future wife look like? Xiao Longnu. I understand. Brother Guijing, just wait and come over. After getting a solution to the problem, Xiao Longnu is not far away. She calmed down and told the chat group and the other Guijing. After listening to Xiao Longnu's story, Guijing and Huang Rong could be said to be confused. It's like listening to heavenly scriptures. You mean you join a chat group? The people in this place are from all worlds, and there is me from another world in there. And the leader of this chat group is a real god. Guijing said in a dull tone, as if he was listening to a fairy tale. Well, because I always call the other you Brother Guijing. So when I saw you just now, the group also called you Brother Guijing. I'm really sorry for bringing you trouble, Mr. Gua. Xiao Longnu is no longer a little girl who doesn't understand anything. Whether it was traveling around the world or chatting with other people in the group during this time, she had matured a lot and learned a lot of things. For example, she knew that there was something wrong with the atmosphere between Guijing and Huang Rong just now, just because of her title. How you put it in the words of Brother Su Bai. Brother Guijing's wife here is jealous of the name she just called her. Do you know what you're talking about? Is what you just said really not what you dreamed about? Even Huang Rong had an incredible expression on her face. She is considered well-informed, but what Xiao Longnu said just now was like listening to a book from heaven. It was simply a fantasy, but it's not their fault. Not to mention ancient people, even modern people, may not believe it immediately. Chapter 98, The Meeting of the Two Guijings. You actually want to rebel. This sister, my name is Huang Rong. Sister Huang Rong, what I just said is true. I'm not talking in my sleep. Huang Rong was not very happy when she heard Xiao Longnu call her sister Huang Rong. This makes her young. However, she was still a little unbelievable. After all, what Xiao Longnu said was too bizarre. I know you don't believe it. So, I have a way to prove that what I say is true. Seeing that Guijing and Huang Rong didn't believe it, Xiao Longnu was not surprised. When she joined the chat group, she was in disbelief for a moment. It took a while to accept it. Not to mention people who haven't joined the chat group. But the problem is not big. There should be a way to make them believe it. Xiao Longnu, Brother Guijing, it's your turn. Xiao Longnu, you on my side don't believe what I say, so it's up to you to prove it. Guijing, yeah. Condor World. Master, I have to go to other worlds, but I should be back soon. Go to other worlds? How wonderful. Hong Qigong looked at his apprentice with great envy. He had never thought about other worlds before, but now his apprentice can go to other worlds. By the way, the world I go to this time is still our future world. I'm going to meet my future self. Future you? Well, didn't I tell you that there's a group member named Xiao Longnu in the group who comes from a world decades after ours? She has seen me now, but I didn't believe what she said at that time. So I went over to help her prove it. In the future world, I wonder if I can lose it. Hong Qigong looked at Guijing expectantly. He also wanted to see what the future world would be like. I don't know if they overthrew the Zhao and Song royal families. I don't know about this. Guijing also doesn't know whether the time travel function can take other people to other worlds. After all, my master is not a member of the chat group, so I don't know if this function is useful to him. However, looking at his master's expectant look, Guijing decided to give it a try. What if it is possible? Later, Guijing used the time travel function, and a black passage appeared in front of him. Seeing this black passage, Hong Qigong was not surprised, because Guijing had already performed it once in front of him when he went to a party. As long as you walk into this passage, you could go to other worlds. Master, you can try to see if you can walk in. I don't know if you could travel to other worlds through the chat group function if you are not a member of the chat group. Okay, I'll give it a try. Hong Qigong walked into the black passage with great anticipation. The next moment, he completely disappeared. Success. It seems that even if you're not a member of the chat group, you can still use the time travel function. Seeing his master disappear, Guijing knew that he must have gone to Xiao Longnu's world. In this way, even those who are not members of the chat group can use the time travel function. After knowing this, Guojing also walked into the Black Passage and went to the world of the Divine Eagle, the world of divine sculptures. A Black Passage appeared in front of Xiao Longnu, Guojing, and Huangrong. That's it. Brother Guojing will appear in the group later. Xiao Longnu pointed to the Black Passage and said to Guojing and Huangrong. At this time, Guojing and Huangrong had already believed a lot in Xiao Longnu's words the moment they saw the Black Passage appear. After all, this Black Passage appeared in front of them out of thin air. This is not something that can be done by martial arts. This also made them expect and wonder. Will my younger self, Brother Jing, really appear? The next moment, a figure appeared from the Black Passage. Seeing this figure, Xiao Longnu looked confused because this figure was not Brother Guojing, but an old man. And she didn't know this old man. But after seeing this old man, Guojing and Huangrong's faces were dull, and then they shouted in surprise, "Master, Senior Hong Qigong." They couldn't believe their eyes at this time, because they didn't expect that their master, Senior Hong Qigong, would actually come out of this Black Passage. Of course, this is not the key. After all, on their side, the other party is still alive. The key is that the other person's appearance is exactly the same as when they were young, not getting older at all. You must know that when they met each other when they were young, the other party was already a middle-aged man. By now, the other party is at least an old man. But now, the other party still looks like a middle-aged man. In other words, the other party is very likely to really come from the past world. Jing. At this time, Hong Qigong, who had just been immersed in traveling to other worlds and was very excited, had also calmed down. He looked at the middle-aged Guojing and recognized him at first sight. Isn't the person in front of him the same Guojing who was beside him just now? However, the Guojing in front of him was not a young man, but already middle-aged. But what happened to the girl next to him? Could it be Jinger's wife? Because Hong Qigong hasn't met Huangrong yet, he doesn't know him. Then, another figure walked out of the Black Passage. Seeing this figure, Xiao Longnu felt relieved. Brother Guojing. When she saw an old man appear just now, she thought there was something wrong with Brother Guojing and he couldn't make it. Little dragon girl, I'm here. Guojing came to Xiao Longnu and said with a smile. Brother Guojing, who is this old man? Why did he also come out of the passage? Xiao Longnu looked at Hong Qigong and asked, He is my master. Oh, it's the one Brother Su Bai said at the beginning. As Guojing spoke, he looked at Guojing and Huangrong in the world of divine eagles. Guojing and Huangrong from the divine eagle world also looked at him. The moment both parties looked at each other, a strange feeling appeared in their hearts. Is this me in the future? The person next to him is my future wife. It's really me when I was young. It's really Brother Jing when he was young. The moment they saw young Guojing appear, middle-aged Guojing and Huangrong completely believed Xiao Longnu's words. The other party definitely didn't use any disguise technique. The other person is really my younger self, Brother Jing. Therefore, what Xiao Longnu said is true. Are you the Brother Guojing from the chat group that Xiao Longnu mentioned? The middle-aged Guojing walked up to him and asked curiously. It can't help but be amazing. How many people can have this experience of looking at themselves when they were younger? Well, you are me in this world, and you are me in the future. Compared with the middle-aged Guojing, Guojing seems to have faded away a lot, because he already knew a lot about his future from the group leader. If he had not joined the chat group, he would have become the middle-aged man standing in front of him now. Guojing felt very emotional when he thought of the other party's fate. Even if you know that the other person is your future self, you can't help but feel a sense of admiration. Does this mean you should admire yourself? Wouldn't it be a little too stinky? I really didn't expect that what this little dragon girl said was true. Yes, everything she said is true. Because you don't believe her, that's why I came here to prove that what she said is true. Guojing looked at his future self and believed it, and was a little surprised. He had already prepared his words, but when he saw him, the other party already believed him. But this is good. It saved him a lot of merit. In fact, it was Guojing who thought too complicated. The Black Passage, plus the appearance of himself and Hong Qigong. All these evidences combined made him and Huangrong unconvinced in the future. So, what's the reason why Miss Xiao Longnu came to me? At this time, middle-aged Guojing finally asked about the idea. You must know that Xiao Longnu came to see him in the first place because I was curious about the other person's identity and didn't believe what the other person said. What happened now happened. However, now that it has been proven that what the other party said is true, then the question goes back to the beginning. That is, what is the reason why Xiao Longnu came to him? Xiao Longnu, let you speak. Guojing looked at Xiao Longnu and said, this was Xiao Longnu's anger, so it was more appropriate for Xiao Longnu to say it herself. Good. Xiao Longnu nodded, and then told her the purpose of her visit. So, you want me to support you and help you change this era? Well, after traveling around the world for this period of time, I already know how miserable the people living in this era are. So I, like Brother Guojing, will change this era. Alas, after hearing Xiao Longnu's words, middle-aged Guojing couldn't help but sigh. How could he not know how miserable the people of this era were living, especially the people on the border? Before he and Huang Rong came to Xiangyang City, the people here lived in dire straits. It was no exaggeration at all. As for other people, although they're not as miserable as the people on the border, they're still living a very hard life. He also wanted to do something to change the world, but his power was too small. What he can do is to garrison Xiangyang City and prevent Mongolia from invading the border. This is the best he can do. There is really no way. Compared with the court 100 years ago, there are not much changes in the current court. Even if the Jing Kong scandal happened again, he would not be surprised at all. Miss Xiao Longnu, what did you just say? You just said that Brother Jing also wants to change this era. Huang Rong on the side noticed another sentence of Xiao Longnu. She just said that she wanted to change this era like Brother Guojing. Doesn't this sentence mean that young Brother Jing also wants to change the times? Yes, Brother Guojing decided to change his era under the persuasion of Brother Su Bai. So, I also want to be like him and do something for the people of the world. Oh, what are you going to do to change the times? Middle-aged Guojing looked at his young self with great curiosity. The other party is different from him. He also wants to do something, but he doesn't have that much power. But the other party is different. The other party is the same as Xiao Longnu also joined the chat group. With the help of the chat group, the other party must have the strength to do something. I plan to overthrow the Zhao and Song royal families. Guojing said. What? Guojing's words made middle-aged Guojing and Huang Rong dumbfounded. They had thought a lot about what the other party would do to change the times, but they never thought that the other party would be so bold. Overthrowing the royal family of Zhao and Song dynasties is a rebellion. I didn't expect that my younger self, Brother Jing, was so fierce and wanted to change the times through rebellion. They had never thought of doing such a thing. Moreover, they do not have this strength. Well, since the royal family of Zhao and Song dynasty is stupid and immoral, it makes the people of the world miserable. It's better to overthrow them and establish a new era. An era where people all over the world can live a peaceful and happy life without internal or external troubles. The middle-aged Guojing and Huang Rong couldn't help but feel emotional when they looked at themselves, Brother Jing, when they were young. Who would have thought that one day they would actually hear their younger self, Brother Jing, talking about rebellion in front of them? This is a treasonous thing, but I have to say that what the other party said is correct. Wang of Zhao. If you want to change the current era, it is useless to wait for the Zhao and Song royal families to wake up. No matter whether it is the current emperor or the emperors in the past, except for the founding emperor Song Taizu Zhao Kuangyin, he is better. The remaining emperors were either mediocre or mediocre, and there were also many foolish emperors. The shame of Jing Kong 100 years ago and the murder of General Yu Fei on unfounded charges all showed how hopeless the Zhao and Song royal families were. Waiting for a wise king to appear to change the status quo? Let's not say whether a wise king will appear in the Zhao Song royal family. Even if it can appear, how many people will die in the process? If it takes 100 years for a wise king to appear, how many people will be killed in these 100 years? If Su Bai knew what middle-aged Guojing and Huang Rong were thinking, he would definitely tell them. They worry too much. There will be no wise king in the royal family of Zhao and Song dynasty, because in a few decades, Song dynasty will fall under the Iron Cavalry of Mongolia. Moreover, it was Guojing's nephew Kublai Khan who destroyed the Song dynasty and established a new dynasty. Guojing used to be Temujin's son and Toliai's sworn brother. Kublai Khan was the son of Tuolai, so he was still Guojing's father and nephew. It's a pity that since Guojing broke with Mongolia, his identity in Mongolia has become useless. But middle-aged Guojing and Huang Rong would not know these things. After they heard what young Guojing said, although the other party's words were very rebellious, but it is indeed the best way to change this era. The previous dynasties, whether it was the Qin dynasty, the Han dynasty, or the Tang dynasty, could not accommodate the lies of the people. Being overthrown will happen sooner or later. But today's Song dynasty is almost there. Since he was going to be overthrown anyway, he might as well do it with his younger self, Brother Jing. Based on the other party's character, after establishing a new era, people's lives will definitely improve a lot. Chapter 99. Little Dragon Girl. Do you want to become the Empress? So, Miss Xiao Long is also planning to overthrow the Zhao Song royal family. After learning what young Guojing was thinking, Huang Rong looked at Xiao Longnu and asked curiously, I haven't thought about this yet. I just want to do something for the people of the world now. Hearing Huang Rong ask this, Xiao Longnu was a little confused. She really hasn't thought about what she should do. She just wants to do something for the people and improve their lives. As for whether to overthrow the Zhao and Song royal family like her brother Guojing, she has not thought about this yet. Actually, you could be like me. At this time, Jing spoke. Overthrowing this era and establishing a new era is the best way to change the status quo. There are other ways, but they are too difficult and cumbersome to implement, and they also take time. The fastest way is to overthrow the Zhao and Song royal families. After this period of development, Guojing now feels more and more that the only way is to overthrow the current Song dynasty and establish a new era. This is the fastest way to change the status quo and let people live a better life. It is not that there are no other methods, but other methods are not very difficult and troublesome to implement. It just takes a long time. How many people would be persecuted to death if other methods were used? Moreover, the surrounding Xixia and Mongolia are also watching with eager eyes. How much time will they give? The best way is to cut through the mess quickly. This, Xiao Longnu was silent, thinking about how to go through it. So you mean to let this little dragon girl rebel too? The middle-aged Guojing said to his young self. Being led by his younger self, he now has no psychological burden at all when he talks about rebellion. Well, that's indeed what I planned. Not much has changed in the two worlds we live in. The only change is that the emperor you have here is the next emperor of my generation. But whether it's the corruption of the court or the emperor's ignorance, it's all the same. You have been stationed in Xiangyang City for so long. You know the situation on the border better than anyone else. Did the imperial court send anyone to help? Middle-aged Guojing and Huang Rong looked at each other with helpless expressions. How could they not be clear about it? The garrison station at the border has basically not changed much. The imperial court almost never sent anyone to help. Today's garrisons are all gathered from people from various cities on the border. If it weren't for the fact that when they were young, they obtained General Yu Fei's Wu Mu's suicide note and learned General Yu Fei's art of war, it was simply impossible for them to defend Xiangyang City for so long. They've been wiped out by the Mongolian cavalry long ago. But it won't be a problem if it continues like this. If the court never helps, sooner or later the border will not be able to hold on. Do you know what will happen if this continues? Have no idea. Middle-aged Guojing and Huang Rong shook their heads. Naturally, they would not know what would happen in the future. You will always protect Xiangyang City in the future, but after decades, you still failed to do so. Xiangyang City was destroyed, and you all died for the country. Moreover, the imperial court never sent anyone to help. The Prime Minister Jiasadeo concealed the fighting situation at the border, so the emperor did not send troops to help. In the end, Xiangyang City was destroyed, and you too died for your country. With this decadent court and fatuous emperor, if we don't overthrow them, there will be no change at all in this era. Moreover, The Song dynasty will eventually perish at the hands of the Mongols. These are all things Master Subai told him, and now he also tells him in this world. In the beginning, it was because of these words that he made up his mind to rebel. He was not afraid of dying for his country, but he was willing to die for the people. But if it was because of the corrupt court and the fatuous emperor that led to his death, he is not willing to give in. Are you telling the truth? Hearing what young Guijing said, both Guijing and Huang Rong were shocked, although they also know that the situation at the border is very dangerous. I also thought about the situation when Xiangyang City was destroyed. But when they learned that things really happened and that they both died for their country, they still couldn't help but express their feelings and emotions. And when they learned that because of the concealment of the prime minister and the incompetence of the current emperor, no troops were sent to help the border. In the end, the border was breached and the Song dynasty was destroyed. A rage boiled in their hearts. This is the border. The importance of the border is self-evident. But the prime minister at that time actually dared to conceal the war situation at the border, and the current emperor did not understand the situation at the border at all. So it was so easily concealed. With such prime ministers and emperors, how could the Song dynasty do well? The border was broken, and the demise of the Song dynasty was only a matter of time. Even if there is a hero like General Yu Fei who can turn the tide in the future, he will be killed by those damn guys like General Yu Fei. They have been stationed in Xiangyang City for so long, but in the end, it is like a joke. No wonder my younger self, Brother Jing, rebelled. Anyone who knows his future ending will be unable to help but rebel. If it is because the Mongolia army is too strong, even if the imperial court sends an army, it still cannot withstand it. Then there will be no problem for them to die for their country, and they will not have any thoughts of rebellion. After all, the imperial court did make a contribution. But now, the court does not contribute at all. Only they and the people on the border are guarding the border. They failed in the end and died for their country, while the fate of others should not be much better. But the imperial court didn't even give a shit. Who the hell can stand this? If they didn't know their final outcome, they could still continue to garrison Xiangyang City as before. But now they know their fate and know that garrisoning Xiangyang City is of no use. If you continue to be so stupid, there will be no change in the outcome. They want to make a change. But Brother Bing, how do you know these things? Huang Rong looked at the young Guijing and asked curiously. And when middle-aged Guijing heard Huang Rong calling his younger self Brother Jing, he didn't know why, but he felt a strange feeling. The same goes for Guijing. It feels really strange to see a beautiful middle-aged woman calling him Brother Jing. But he didn't care and said, because this is what our group leader told us. The group leader is omniscient and omnipotent, and there is no need to doubt the authenticity of what he says. After hearing what young Guijing said, middle-aged Guijing and Huang Rong both looked at Xiao Longnu, wondering what she was thinking. At this time, Xiao Longnu told Subai everything that had just happened. She didn't know what to do, so she hoped that Brother Subai could give her some advice. Xiao Longnu, Brother Subai, what should I do? Subai, little dragon girl, do you want to become the empress? Just with this sentence, Subai's meaning is already obvious. Xiao Longnu, empress? What is that? Subai, don't you want to do something for the people in the world and make their lives better? Subai, the one who can do this best is the emperor. If you become the emperor, you will become the empress. Guijing, I know it's like Wu Zetian of the Tang dynasty. Guijing also saw the news in the group, and he was very supportive of Subai's proposal. With Xiao Longnu's innocent and kind character, if she becomes the empress, the people in the world will live a very good life. Of course, Xiao Longnu's character is not suitable for being an emperor. He himself is the same and is not suitable to be an emperor. But it's not a big problem, as long as there are capable people. Guijing, Lord Leader, this is what I think. After I overthrow the Zhao and Song royal families and establish a new, Kata, era, I will become a useless emperor. Guijing, I will select talents and let those talents manage the new dynasty, and I will be responsible for ensuring that these talents will not become officials who are a prey to the common people. With God-level piano skills here, He doesn't need to worry about someone changing their mind and becoming someone who is just a loser to the common people. Once you hear his performance once, you won't have such thoughts anymore. Su Bai. So what you mean is to decentralize power and let your talents help you manage the new dynasty. You don't want to manage it yourself, right? Guijing. Well, I know that I'm not qualified to be an emperor, so I just want to be a mascot emperor, just a symbol. Su Bai. Yes, your idea is very good. To put it bluntly, Guijing just wants to be an emperor, like the queen of the empire on which the sun never sets. Although he also has some power in his hands, he still plays more of a mascot and symbol role. The difference is that with god-level piano skills, Guijing doesn't need to worry about corrupt officials. No matter how powerful the people under him are, they will not use their power for personal gain, but will wholeheartedly think about the world and the people. Su Bai, when the time comes, I will give you some dragon slaying skills, and you can teach them to your talents so that they can better serve the people. The art of slaying dragons. To the emperor, was the art of slaying dragons, because the essence of dragon slaying is the knowledge or methods to counter or even weaken the emperor's power and improve people's lives. It can be said that a lot of modern knowledge is a proper dragon slaying technique in ancient times. For example, the artifacts in the hands of those who travel through historical novels are like how to make cement and how to make horseshoes. Even some methods of growing crops can be regarded as dragon-slaying techniques, because once someone masters these things, it will threaten the imperial power. Using these things to win people's hearts is not a good thing for the emperor. But in fact, if these dragon-slaying skills were in the hands of the emperor, they would be techniques that would benefit the country and the people. Implementing these dragon-slaying techniques will be very helpful to people's lives. Guijing. Thank you, Lord Group Leader. Su Bai. You're welcome. Su Bai. So, Xiao Longnu, have you considered whether you want to become the second empress after Wu Zetian? Su Bai. Of course, if you're worried that you can't be the empress, that's okay, because you can learn from Guijing, be a mascot, and just leave everything to your subordinates to handle. The Song dynasty had many talented people. Whether they were civil servants or military generals, they were no worse than other dynasties. However, the Song dynasty was a dynasty that valued culture over military affairs, because the founding emperor Zhao Kuangyin was made emperor by his subordinate Huang Pao. So he was worried that those generals with military power would one day become a different version of themselves. At once, the release of military power over a glass of wine suddenly weakened the general status. What about civil servants? There are many talented people among civil servants, but there are also many people who seek fame and reputation. Talents who are truly capable are suppressed and unable to use their talents. Not to mention military generals. The military generals of the Song dynasty can be said to be the worst among all dynasties. But when it comes to the number of talents, the Song dynasty is not bad. There is a lot of talent. As long as these talents can be discovered, it will be very helpful to govern the world. In addition, both Xiao Longnu and Guijing can use modern methods to help them. So their emperor can be said to be a mascot. It's okay, even if you don't have the ability to be an emperor. They just need to ensure that there are no problems with their men. Xiao Longnu. Okay, as long as it can change the current situation, then I am willing. Xiao Longnu. I don't want to see my brother Guijing and sister Huang Rong die for their country in the end. After thinking for a while, Xiao Longnu finally made a decision. Then make the same choice as brother Guijing. Overthrow this decadent world. Moreover, since brother Su Bai has asked her if she wants to be the empress, brother Su Bai probably also hopes that she can become the empress. Otherwise, I wouldn't have asked her this. Combining the two, she also decided what to do. Guijing. Xiao Longnu, you finally figured it out, just like me before. Guijing. I was thinking about whether to rebel or not, but after the leader of the group said something, I figured it out. Xiao Longnu. Well, brother Su Bai asked me if I wanted to become the empress. He also wanted me to choose this way. Su Bai, now that you have made your choice, you can learn from Guijing. Su Bai, you can follow what he does. Su Bai, for example, he found Hong Qigong and quickly expanded his strength with the help of him and his beggar gang. Then you can also ask Guijing over there to help you. Guijing, the group leader is right. Your situation is very similar to mine. So you can definitely follow my method, Guo Jing, and I will attack the imperial court soon. After I succeed, you can also learn from it. Su Bai, even in the future, for example, Guo Jing's management style and other things, you can learn from him. Su Bai, don't even talk about learning, just copy it. With a successful example like Guo Jing, you can just copy it. Guo Jing, yes, after I succeed, you can just copy what I did. Xiao Longnu, okay, I understand. Xiao Longnu was also full of confidence at this time. With the help of Su Bai and Guo Jing, she will definitely succeed.
No more novels? Take part in the voting. The most requested novels and those with the most likes will be chosen for publication on euroaudiobooks.com. There, I can upload as much as I want without the risk of receiving a strike. Our 18 novels and other content that exceed what is morally acceptable are only published on Patreon or the free novels page. Remember, the site is funded by donations on Ko-fi and Patreon memberships.